Rafi's favorite song.
Yeah. Also, possibly mine. I'm
Huh.
not sure. Maybe because it's Rafi's favorite song, but maybe because it just sounds amazing.
Whatever you like, I like.
Yeah. Whatever you like, I like.
It's yeah, from Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. She's your queen
So,
to be,
can we
to
play for the folks
quench
at home just
that
that scene?
royal fire.
Frank, I'm gonna let you speak, but I want to play that scene before you speak. Is that okay? Oh, so that's like a cappella. We're allowed to have
Yeah,
that.
because I forgot the actual words, but I just wanted to
Yeah.
say this. You could play the scene, and I do like that scene. And I was gonna say play even the whole dance scene, but the girls are a little too naked in
Yeah. No, I
that
just want to
scene.
play the part where it's like whatever you like.
I know what you want. Oh no, that part. Okay, I actually
Just
want to hear
whatever.
I want to hear Oha sing. That's what I thought you wanted.
Oh, that there's also that part.
But I want to say this.
Yeah.
You know, I was listening. I was I was swimming today.
Hmm.
Um, I'm trying to swim. I'll leave it at that. And it was my parents have this little pool, and
Hmm.
I'm using like I'm trying to train, not just kind of wait around. So I got this like swim tether thing, which it kind of holds you back, right? So you can
Yeah.
like swim forever, basically. It's awesome. Anyway,
Nice.
and then my dad turned on the radio,
Hmm.
and and he's like, oh, because he wanted me to listen to music so I wouldn't get
Yeah.
bored or whatever. It's a Christian channel. He had no idea.
Yeah. The heck?
Right? It sounds like all the rest of the pop music.
Yeah.
Sucks.
It's
You
horrible.
know?
It's bad.
It's like you can't tell the difference between R&B, rap, or country anymore.
No, no, everything has been crossover. Everything's crossovers.
Everything has
Yeah.
been amalgamated. Is that the
Yeah.
right word?
Yeah.
Did I use that word correctly? I'm sure
It's just
someone.
been everything's just been put together in a Choland, and it just sounds like Choland.
Why did I have to do that? Now I have to check.
While you
Sorry.
check, Mr. Frank, I'm
No,
gonna.
no, 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 dude. Can you please hold your horses for
I don't
goodness
have any
sake?
horses. If I had horses, I'd be like those
Yes,
waspy.
I did use that word
I'd be
correctly.
like I'd be like those waspy rich people if I had horses.
Just hold them, okay? Hold your proverbial horses. So, I was listening to this music and I was like, wow, this sucks. Not just because it's Christian music,
Yeah,
but it just sucks,
yeah, like the melodies are not
Right.
good. Yeah.
It's like I hated Creed, but compared to Creed is Bach compared to what I was listening to. I don't want
Dude,
to get into Creed. I was just using that for
dude,
an
you know what I
example.
heard? I heard, and then I'll play the video. I heard
No,
somebody.
I have a point.
What is your
There's a reason
point?
why I'm telling you this.
I
You won't
didn't know
listen to it.
that. What
Yeah, I
is
have
your
a
point,
point.
Frank? Get to the point. We're waiting.
No, I only said that because you're like, and then I'll play. Just hold on. God. Anyway, so I was listening to this and I was like, man, this sucks. Like, why would they, why would religious people? And then it made me think about the crappy modern pop music that Jewish people started making. It's just as bad. And I'm thinking from the Jewish perspective, the rabbis are like, oh, let's make it sounds like a pop. They're gonna like it, but it's holy. I don't know why I made the rabbi sound like Geppetto, but you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Because the rabbis do kind of sound like Geppetto, depending
yeah,
where they're from.
yeah.
Okay, and I was like, wow, this is like and I realized something. Which I feel is profound. My mom, not so much. I tried to explain this to her,
Hmm.
and so I told her that the rabbis of today are like the biblical Reuven, son of Jacob,
Okay,
Reuben, son of Jacob.
okay.
Um, folks, for those of you who don't know, like, when you go to yeshiva and you study
Hmm.
Torah, we got some good info about the patriarchs and the people who the Hebrew scripture talks about. We got the inside info on who these people were, what they were like. Y'all don't know. And so Reuben, right, Reuven, is a person who was extremely heavenly. He was a heavenly person. He was like not on earth, so to
Yeah,
speak.
yeah.
He was much closer to being an angel than a regular human being, right? He found it difficult to relate to mundane human stuff that regular humans have to deal with. He was always up, floating in the cosmos and in the heavens, right? And he was superhuman. They were all superhuman to some extent, but he was really, really up there. He was Jacob's firstborn son, so
Yeah.
this guy was no slouch, but not an expert on the world,
Yeah.
relatively speaking.
Yeah.
For example, when he wanted to come back for Joseph, when they threw him in the pit, right? He didn't want his brothers to know, but he's like, I'll come back later. I'll come back in a few hours, right? And I'll go get it. But because he's a heavenly kind of person, he's not focused on mundane
Yeah.
aspects of physical reality. He didn't realize 12 hours or 24 hours is too long to leave uh, Joseph, who may or may not be a superhuman at that stage, right?
Yeah.
In a dry pit with all sorts of insects and snakes and scorpions and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Right? A regular person can't survive that kind of,
Yeah.
But to Reuben, that wasn't obvious to him because he could survive anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. So he wasn't really a person who understood the plight of the regular everyday person.
Yeah.
Okay. Reuven, the music that they play at Hasidic wedding parties, the modern stuff that they're trying to make it sound like pop
Yeah.
music,
Yeah.
it would sound good to him. He's like one of those rabbis. He's like, oh, it sounds good and it's modern.
Yeah.
I'm tricking them. I'm tricking the kids. They think they're listening to pop, but it's the holy stuff.
Yeah.
Right. On the other hand, Judah, right, fourth son, Yehuda, right, his real name Yehuda, he was the man who was chosen to be the king. Why? Specifically because he was an expert in the plight of the regular person. He understood regular people stuff.
Yeah.
That's why he was chosen to be the king. God made him the king because the king needs to understand everyday people stuff, regular people stuff. Okay. And Judah, the Hasidic wedding music and or Christian religious music or whatever, that concept, it would sound like shit to him. So that's why I concluded that Mashiach would have the awesome playlist. Like if he
Yes.
was the DJ, his sets would be amazing
Oh yeah.
because he understands. He it's not all the same to him. He understands.
Yeah.
I sounded like DC Benny there for a second. I was like going crazy. He understands
Yeah.
what someone like me needs to go through. Do you understand? So
Yeah.
I just just in general, like I was like, things are not getting better.
I know.
Like, okay,
Not only that, you have, and I think I mentioned this to you before, and I even maybe even mentioned it on the show before. I was DJing at this Shavuot, this whole like weekend 5 day thing about a month ago. And you see these kids who grew up religious who are playing, they have all this, DJ equipment and everything else, whatever. Some are more talented than others, right? Some of them have more of an ear for music than others in general, right? But they don't understand. Not only do they not understand the structure of what's called electronic dance music, they have no concept of, like the history of it. So they're just playing, this horrible either dubstep or I don't know what they're playing. It's just bad. It's not good. They think that DJing is, you put on a track. They think that DJing is all about putting a track, like a track on, playing it for about a minute and a half, and then having like this, amazing quote unquote transition,
yeah,
but like a fast one, like a really fast one. It's like remember like those the DMC contests, the guy scratching this and that, but it's like not without it's like that without the scratching, just transitions. That's what they think DJing is. Not building a set, not playing a track that emotes something, brings something to people's imagination or whatever it is. Innovative sound, innovative production, maybe vocals, maybe no, depending on what's necessary. And like taking people on a journey, crafting something. There's no concept of that. And you know, man, I just thinking about this many times over the last however many months. Maybe I always think about this really since I became religious. It's not an accident that Hashem had people like myself, people like you, and other guys we know, Jewish guys who were kind of in. We didn't go to clubs just to like pick up girls and go to clubs.
Quite
We
the
went
opposite.
we went to clubs literally
No, no,
to.
not we didn't go to pick up guys.
I'm
Somebody
saying
somewhere.
we weren't, yeah, we weren't there for like this, the so-called scene or whatever it was. If
No.
anything did happen, it was just like, as a
Yeah,
byproduct
it's
or
not.
whatever.
We weren't exactly.
Yeah.
That wasn't. All,
Yeah.
all you're saying is that that was not. We were
That wasn't the
searching.
main thing. Yeah.
And even if we did,
Yeah.
even if it did happen, right,
Yeah.
where we would, let's say, see eye to eye with a young lady,
Yeah.
she'd have to be on the same wavelength as we were.
Yeah. Well, usually the people that went to these kind of parties were most people, most, not all.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you ran into the what is it, the yuppies that came from Wall Street, and they just wandered in. They didn't even realize where the hell they were.
The club or the club chick.
Yeah, yeah,
Like what
yeah,
I think Louis C.K. was it. He goes, there's like these three lines that he's like, there's like the neckline, the bare midriff, and
yeah.
then like the skirt
Yeah,
line. It's like a certain height with the
yes,
whatever. There was
yeah,
those lines. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So basically, it for me it was a spiritual experience every single time. And you know what's interesting, man? The minute that it stopped being, I distinctly, it was distinctly when I started learning Torah, like properly learning Torah, is when going to these places stopped being a spiritual experience, and I started feeling, you know, the impure energy that the actual places contained. Like the music was overshadowed by the tuma, what we call the tuma, in those
Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't be in those places anymore. At least not at that time.
The P Diddy energy took
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Even though, the music that we heard didn't lend itself to those kind of.
No, not at all. Yet
Yeah,
somehow it
yeah,
kind of.
yeah. No, it came in. It went in. Yeah, so it's been a whole spiritual. So now I've been trying to bring myself and Eric a little bit to some extent. And anytime Eric and I kind of get together, usually it's like, it was at his house. The last time it was at his house, but previously it was in a bar in Brooklyn. And even in like a regular bar when most of the people are not dancing, we're trying to bring some kind of spirit to the place, And
Yeah.
if we play a Jewish thing, a Jewish event, we're going to try to bring some kind of spirit to the place. As opposed to playing like even now I have friends that are like playing, like a really good DJ, a friend of mine, but he plays like, like the Israeli house stuff, this modern stuff, but like it's just very, I don't know, man.
It's hard to trust.
It's just not good. What do you mean it's hard to trust?
Like even the stuff that is kind of mimicking the kind of stuff that we like is sort
Yeah,
of like,
yeah.
like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's just not, it's not there. Because
It's
again,
fugazi.
when you've heard, it's kind of like I presented a friend of mine who, been learning with like some of the top rabbis his whole life, and I show, you show him like Rabbi Mizrahi, he goes, listen, man, he goes, I have nothing personally against Rabbi Mizrahi, but when you've heard real Torah, you know what real Torah is. Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
Gehenna.
Yeah, exactly. Gehenna. Gehenna is like, yeah, exactly. All right, this is I just want to play this for the folks at home. This includes the song that you were singing. Speaking of
Yeah.
this is Hakeem, Eddie Murphy's character meeting I guess the woman that his
The
parents
queen
wanted.
to be.
Yeah, the woman that his parents want him to marry, and then he, introduced,
She's
and
your
then
queen to
so
be.
yeah.
She's your queen to be, a queen to be forever, a queen who'll do whatever His Highness desires. She's your queen to be, a vision of perfection, to be used at your discretion, waiting only for your direction. Your queen to be.
That was a great shot from above. You know, like
Yeah.
May I talk to you alone for a moment, please? Excuse us for a moment.
I think people don't appreciate cinematography in this movie, of this movie.
yeah, John Landis.
So,
Ever since I was born, I've been trained to serve you.
yes, I know this, but I would like to know about you. What do you like to do?
Whatever you like.
What kind of music do you like?
Whatever kind of music you like.
Look, I know what I like, and I know you know what I like because you were trained to know what I like, but I would like to know what you like. For instance, do you have a favorite food?
Yes?
Good! What is your favorite food?
Whatever food you like.
Are you saying that no matter what I tell you to do, you will do?
Yes, Your Highness.
Anything I say, you do?
Yes, Your Highness.
Bark like a dog.
Arf, 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 arf.
A big dog.
Woof, 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 woof.
Hop on one leg.
Woof, 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 woof.
Make a noise like an orangutan.
Ah! I see the two of you are getting along.
Excuse me, Imani, for a moment.
By the way, turns out after viewing Coming to America 2, he made the wrong choice.
Correct. Correct. That is absolutely correct. He should have chosen the woman that likes everything that he likes.
Yes, and
That will
and-
agree to like everything.
Yeah, and also, you know, he could have taught her to be more of an of an individual, right?
Correct.
In fact, he abandoned this woman who, let's say, he doesn't love her, but you know, he's bound to her in the sense that she was raised to be a certain, to, you know, she's connected to him from the beginning, right? I know we're taking this a little too seriously, but just let's go with this concept for a second.
Yeah.
He should have worked with her. He should have helped her to escape the slave mentality, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, she would have, you know, she probably would have retained her supportive nature towards him, right? And they could have had a great kingdom, but Zamunda fell apart.
Yeah.
Because he chose that biatch from Queens.
Well, you know what's funny? This movie, you know what this movie was based on? It was based on the reverse engineer of you know, actually I want to play what this was based on. Eddie Murphy's skit about Umfufu, where he lives in America and he brings back an African woman, and she's African, and she's like basically tribal. She doesn't know what's what.
But that's not at all. That's not Umfufu.
I know it's not Umfufu, but I'm saying
is like he describes her as a bush bitch.
I know, but
this is a rich woman.
Well, he reversed. This is where literally the idea for this, you know, you take the guy, except he's like royalty, and you know, bring him to. But I want to play here. Folks at home, this Umfufu thing. you know, and he brought her back to America, and she took on him. The whole point is that she took on American mindset. Let's say she wasn't a bush, but let's just like a woman from Africa who has like traditional values. So in the thing, you'll see, like he describes. Yeah.
You gonna put a ring on my finger? That shuts you right up. You say, okay, because you don't. I know you spend a lot of your money on your woman, and I know you go to the movies, and you go to get the ice cream and the candy and the flowers and the anklets and the bracelets and help her get some clothes, and you spending all your money on shit you would never spend it on, but you don't own her. Just theoretically, that pussy's on lease.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Dude, you can't play the song.
I didn't know. I didn't want this part.
Listen to Madonna. I'm a material girl in a material world. You ain't got no money. You can't have a job. Well, I to get the... What have you done for me lately?
Here, hold on. See, something about like women say.
Got to have some money. It says no romance without finance. And women love them songs. They be got to have a J-O-D. Janet Jackson got a hit record. What have you done for me lately? That's what they be thinking. What have you done for me lately? The records start off like that. I know he used to do shit for you, but what has he done for you lately? Baby, I love you. What have you done for me lately? You the only thing on my mind. What have you done for me lately? We make good love. What have you done for me lately? Got to have some money to get some pussy in the 80s. It's fucked up. That's why I say, hey, I'm a target. If I ever get married, I have to go off to the woods of Africa and find me some crazy, naked zebra bitch that knows nothing about money. She got to be butt naked on a zebra with a big...
I wanted to get to the point where he's talking about how he brings the...
But this is what it said. This is... We got to, like, walk through landmines just to get there.
It's getting there.
Afro got to, like Angela Davis scene and go, God damn, that's fucked up. Afro got to be fucked up and one of them picks with a fist in the back, and she got to be butt naked because if she got some clothes she gonna pocket, she gonna have to put something in the pocket. So she got to be butt naked on the zebra, and y'all think it's a joke. Y'all gonna go, I'm gonna walk up to her and say, hey, how you doing? Money? And she go, I will. I say, Miss Murphy. And I'm bringing her home. Y'all think it's a joke? Y'all gonna go past a newsstand one day and see me on the cover of Jet with some woman with a big bone and a plate and a big fucked up afro, butt naked, and you're gonna say, hey, Eddie must be visiting Africa. Say, Murphy marries Bush bitch. I'm gonna be like,
hold on.
You to get caught out there. Fuck that. See is you got some trained Bush bitch in your... Leave it, nigga. Oh, you know something, girl? Do you know you can take half your whole program? As soon as they get alone, they'll be like, I can't stand him. He be running behind him doing everything he tell you to do. Who he think he is? You ain't no God. You a human being. He ain't supposed to treat nobody.
What?
Возьмися в руки.
Okay, anyway, the point is he's saying how like you bring this lady back from Africa.
We lost the 60-something Olim American ladies.
I'm sorry, 60-something Olim. Okay. He brings her back from Africa, and then he goes, this lady from Africa encounters the American ladies. And they're like, I can't believe this. I can't. And then she goes, do you know you could take half his money? And then she goes, Eddie, I want half.
I want half, Eddie.
Half your shit. I'm an American woman now. I want what's coming to me.
Yeah. I want what's coming to me. Right.
You know, it's interesting. This skit, man, is the reason for what's called, passport bros. You know, the guys that just literally leave America and they move to a different country. Like, as in a more traditional country.
Yeah.
Usually Asia or Russia. Or...
The Andrew Tates of the world.
Yes.
No, thank you.
Yes.
One thing that like upset me recently is I kind of wish he wouldn't have said anything. Like, there's this whole, like, you ever heard of Lauren Southern?
Yes.
So recently, she's been out really, but recently she published something claiming that Andrew Tate raped her.
I saw that,
Which, whatever, wouldn't surprise me. But then Tommy Robinson came and sticking up for Tate.
Really? But Tommy Robinson loves Israel. He's not like a...
I know. I'm just saying that they were friends, right? At some point, and then Andrew, but he's like, what she's saying about that incident is not true because I saw them together in the morning after, he was supposed to have raped, whatever, man. It just kind of bugs me.
Yeah,
I
this whole
wanted
alibi thing.
I wanted to kind of say that there's a couple of things I'm very, very disturbed by today. Obviously,
Okay.
what's going on with the Druze right now,
Yeah.
right? It's like a repeat
Yeah.
to some extent of October 7th. Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
some of the footage. I posted it. We're not going to play that
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that something the White House press secretary said that Trump was sick with something.
Oh, he has like some kind of vein thing
Yeah, can we look into that? Because
from shaking
I
hands.
went into a mini panic when I saw that.
No, he's okay, bro, for
With
sure.
this Epstein shit, and now
Yeah.
now they're saying that he has some kind of
Yeah.
chronic illness. I'm starting
Yeah.
to get a little worried.
No, he's okay. It's
I never
not
heard of this condition. Can we read about it a little bit?
yeah,
Though?
it's called chronic venous insufficiency. It's basically, it's swelling in his legs. It also happens in the hands. So basically, yes, it's a condition where veins have trouble moving blood back to the heart, particularly in the legs.
That sounds pretty
Uh,
bad.
it is, yeah, but it's not as bad as it sounds. It's also known as chronic venous stasis, phlebitis, or post-thrombotic syndrome. CVI can lead to various symptoms, including leg pain, swelling, skin discoloration, and ulcers. Yes, it says the risk increases with age over 50. If you have family history of varicose veins or other venous issues. No, obesity, but he's not really obese. He's tall, big guy.
He's
Uh,
heavy. He's not a
yeah,
skinny.
yeah. Pregnancy, well, obviously, prolonged standing or sitting can cause blood to pool in the legs, increasing pressure on the veins, blood clots, injuries. Symptoms have, like leg pain, aching, heaviness, swelling, skin changes, and ulcers. Yes, you could do like compression therapy, leg elevation, lifestyle changes. It's nothing, whatever, but it's something to definitely.
He needs to finish out this term.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
don't need to be having nightmares about
yeah.
like God has blessed him with health.
What for even JD Vance
Supernatural
for you
health.
would be JD Vance for you would be like
No, no, not at all. No, there's nobody suitable, not even close.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
absolutely not. There's nobody available. Uh, there are no other adults in the room right now. This is
yeah,
not a good time for the only adult we have,
yeah,
kind of,
yeah,
um, until Mashiach comes.
yeah.
He's the last
He's
vestige of 80s Americana adult,
yeah, yeah,
and then that's it. There's nobody
yeah,
around.
yeah. It's true.
So this is not, I wish God would stop messing with us.
And all the other ones are like freaking Deep State or Rhino or whatever. The ones who could be of like his generation. Yes, yes, sir. What did you want to say in the beginning? You said you wanted to. Is that what you wanted to say?
That's part of what I wanted to say.
Mhm.
The other part is I feel like my comedy is going unappreciated on the twits.
Yeah.
I think I wrote a great comment about what's her name, Candace Owens. And come on, like
Oh
I
yeah.
can't be the only one that she looks like a gecko too.
Yes, she does look like a
She looks like
deranged
that,
gecko.
like the gecko from Geico.
Yeah. He looks better. You insulted him.
Oh, he's as
You
far
you
as
you you
geckos go,
call you called the people what is it? When you were driving, you sent a video of like these people protesting
yeah,
and you said something like
the local wildlife.
wildlife. I said you insulted wildlife. Just an insult to wildlife everywhere. Here.
There's a video of something that happened in England where
Yeah.
this baby was thrown to the floor
Oh,
by
gosh.
this animal,
Yeah.
and the English guys are finally
Yeah, they're standing up.
did something. They were stomping him out. I didn't see the whole thing. I hope so. I just wrote
Yeah. Yeah.
that that I'd hope that he'd be hosed off. Like you literally see the baby on the floor.
Yeah.
Right. And then
Oh my God.
I said I'd be happy if they ended up hosing him off.
Yeah.
So somebody responded, can you look more Jewish?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, this guy responded to you.
Yeah. So I wrote to him, and I was thinking about
Oh,
Celebrity
Connery.
Jeopardy.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
being able to
I was
look
like, Yeah.
So I'm gonna do in his
Hold on, I'm
voice.
trying to find the comment.
So the
It says
guy's
something.
like, "Could you look any more like a Jew?" And then you respond, "No, I'm trying as hard as I can, and this is the most Jewish in appearance I can achieve. Not being able to look more Jewish is my greatest
This is my
regret."
greatest regret. Yeah, right. No, I found it. I was like, no, I'm trying as hard as I can, and this is the most Jewish in appearance I can achieve.
Oh,
Not, oh,
Connery.
you did read it. Okay, not being able to look more Jewish is my greatest regret. Yeah.
And then this
Well,
guy posted, "It's got kids, it's got goats, all naked, absolutely halal. Thank me later." Okay, National Geographic kids. I guess you're responding to the guy.
yeah, I think he assumed that it was a Mustafa who
Yeah.
was
Yeah, there's no way to know what kind of
right.
whatever
Yeah,
he is, but what kind of creature he is.
yeah.
Keir Starmer. Uh,
Oh yeah.
Keir Starmer. I think it's very important to have 16 and 17-year-olds have the vote. Why don't you use the correct name? Why do you insist on slandering my family name?
Oh, you're reading all my comments. Yeah,
You
that's
responded, but
bitch. This guy
who's
keeps saying Zelenko instead of Zelensky, and he knows he's doing it. He knows he's doing it.
yeah, yeah,
All right.
unbelievable. People who took the shot and told us we were crazy for not. Oh, so yeah, the guy that's Johnson Johnson. Okay, you posted your brother.
Yeah, I'm looking for the Candace Owens comment. I feel like it's.
Oh, you responded to Mamdani's thing about prisons.
Oh yeah, with the Richard Pryor prison. I think we played that
Yeah, yeah,
clip
yeah,
like
yeah,
last time.
yeah.
Oh yeah, no, so
Uh,
here's my comment to Candace Owens. She said that she was speaking about me, right? And Greg and Jewish people. She's like,
some
these are not our
ladies.
friends,
Yeah,
or our allies. They are
yeah.
demons, and they are our enemies. They lie, cheat, and steal, murder, blackmail. Pray for the innocent. God will have his vengeance. She's upset that the top of a Catholic church in Gaza, I can't believe there's even a Catholic church in Gaza, got nicked accidentally
Yeah.
by Israeli fire. They probably had some Hamas guys on top of that church or whatever, right? So I wrote, it's funny to me that Hitler was reincarnated as a deranged succubus
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the
I saw
body of
that.
a black woman who looks like a gecko.
Yeah, I
And
saw
she
that.
looks like a gecko. She really
Yeah,
looks like it.
yeah. And some lady responded more like a frog.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
Geckos and frogs, they're not that different.
yeah.
So anyway, I feel like I should
New
be
poll
awarded.
show.
I should get comedy writing awards for this
You
brilliant
should. You
producing.
should. You should.
Oh yeah. I also wrote something about Keir Starmer.
What did you
Hang
write?
on, let me find it. About the 16-year-old thing, but
Mhm. Yeah.
let's see. Hang on. Almost there. Shit, I lost it. 1 second. Don't worry, folks. It's all worth it. Once you hear this, you'll be like, oh, it was worth the wait. Oh yeah, here we go. When you're so hated by the public that even the stupidest demographic of the available voter base won't support you, what do? Unlock a new, even stupider voting demographic, the
Yeah.
teenager.
Yeah.
That's what this is. It's
Yeah.
never been more transparent.
Dude, I think, what do they say? People's brains haven't fully formed until like age 28 or something like that. Like you literally cannot. I mean, when the founding fathers said, at least the part about, landowner and paying
Yeah.
taxes. If you have any, these WEF idiots, fruitcakes, talk about, stakeholder capitalism, all that stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
If you pay taxes and you own land, you are, de facto a stakeholder in the country. And if you don't, you're not. So if you're not a stakeholder, you can't vote. You should not be voting. I was telling my father today, like, the whole thing, we have the New York mayor election, right? So for example, I'm in Jersey, right? Let's say if I were to live in like I live, let's say maybe 20 or 30 miles away from Manhattan, which is already close enough, right? Let's say hypothetically speaking, I'd be working in the city. I used to work in the city back in the day. I used to work in the city, and I used to go to college in the city in CUNY, right?
Yeah.
People who can prove that they receive, either physically go, their office is in New York City, they pay the toll or they pay some kind of fee to get into New York, let's say a bus or a toll or whatever it is. They spend X amount of time in New York City per month, per week, per year, but they don't live in New York City. Let's say even if they live in not even New York State, they live in like North Jersey, let's say Fort Lee, New Jersey, right across the bridge. They should be able to vote for the mayor of New York. There's millions of people who are affected by who the mayor of New York City is. They cannot vote in the election. Dude, Curtis Sliwa, he went to like he had some rally in Jersey where you got all these people that come out to his rally in Jersey. And that's what made him think that he has a lot of support in New York City. Even though he doesn't, really.
He does. I don't agree with you. He does.
He does, but he doesn't have enough of a strong. His problem is he has no strong ground game.
He has a very strong ground game. Dude, I'm sorry.
So what's the reason for his 2%? No, so what's the reason for 2% of people voting for him?
I don't believe that. I honestly don't believe that poll. Like all this data is fucking bullshit, bro. Everywhere he goes, he's greeted. He goes to all 5 boroughs. He goes to every neighborhood. He literally goes there physically. He takes the train there. He's surging in the polls, by the way.
He is surging. He's
right
picking
now.
Stuff up. Yeah.
He's picking up steam because people he didn't back down at all. Right. And he's the only Republican candidate. And people forget.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Israel and God.
Yeah.
Right. Like, the whole world is against us.
Yeah.
Right. The Jews with one little nation, small in number. We're not even jacked. Half of us have like bad backs or whatever. Right. Yet somehow, right. Well, that's because God keeps us propped up.
Yeah.
Right. So you can't take on God.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not comparing Trump to God, God forbid, not in the slightest. But politically speaking, he is equivalent to everybody else.
Yeah.
I believe Trump will support Curtis Sliwa.
You know what's interesting? As you say that, this actually didn't realize, probably the newest polls are basically, you have Mamdani 20. I mean, let's just say this is real, right? It's called Harris X poll. Mamdani has 26, Cuomo has 23, Sliwa has 22, and Adams has 13. Cuomo today said, actually, if he sees that he's not ahead, he's going to pull out, because he literally said, he's like, I'm not going to participate in the suicide mission of New York City. Just because.
Who said that?
Cuomo said that. So he would pull out. So then you'd have Mamdani, Sliwa, and Adams.
Yeah.
Which actually is very good because, both Sliwa and Adams are pro, not that I'm a big fan of Adams, at least pro-Jewish, at least.
Adams is not pro-Jewish. He was hanging out with Sneeko.
With who?
Sneeko.
Who the hell?
He's one of those groypers.
Listen, Adams constantly. I don't know if he knew who Sneeko was, but he constantly going to the oh hell and
dude
constantly.
He's full of shit, man.
You think so? I
yeah.
don't know.
Talking about the oh hell, like the Rebbe.
That's pretty big.
The Rebbe saved Sliwa's life.
I know he did.
Okay. So look, he just needs a little time for this to get out. People don't want people understand intuitively that we got here because of Adams.
Yeah.
So behind Adams, there's always a Mamdani waiting to take over. So it's pointless to just elect Adams.
It is pointless.
Kick the can down the road again because we just get Mamdani right after, right?
Well, it shows.
We need a Sliwa to slay.
It shows if it came down to two-person race, it would be, let's say if they're showing if it's Mamdani versus Adams, Mamdani would win. If it's Cuomo versus Mamdani, Cuomo would win. Not that I'm a fan of Cuomo, but
bro, forget about all that. Forget about all that shit. Sliwa has to win. That's why he's gonna win. That's it. Simple. He has to win.
Yeah.
Because that's what he's gonna. You can't have New York fall.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Trump can't allow that to happen.
Yeah.
Do you understand? It's a symbol.
Yeah.
All right. Then we got that, that goofy Somalian pirate who wants to take over. What is it? He wants to be the governor?
No, he wants to be
The mayor of what?
the mayor of
Minneapolis.
hold on. Yeah. This guy, his name is okay. The first thing that came up was Mayor Mogadishu.
Dude looks like
Omar Fateh. Yeah, he's like
dude, he looks like a Somalian
pirate. Yeah,
fucking Trotsky is what he looks like.
He looks like the guy that took over the ship and says, "I'm the captain now." You know that?
Yeah, with Leon Trotsky's hairstyle.
Yeah. Omar here.
Right, that goofy
and he looks like a UAP. The guy looks like straight up like
stop with the UAP. Look at this.
He looks like in Mars Attacks.
Bro, you should make a meme because that would work.
Look at this fucking guy. I'm sorry.
You should hire somebody to like pull off his his
mask
face
and
mask and
Mars
reveal
Attacks
like
guy. Yeah,
right. Matt. It seems like his face is really like smushed all the way to the bottom. He's like all head, and then he just looks like a caricature on the bottom.
He looks like a caricature of himself. Here, this is I want to show folks on the scene where the alien, he's like trying to talk to them, and then they want to shake the hands, and then here, this thing. But then they just like whatever do their thing to him.
Shout out to Coldplay for bringing the whole internet together for one day.
Oh yeah.
Who's this Greg account?
What?
On the twits, there's this account called Greg. He gets
there's some like it's like a meme of a meme. Yeah. It's a meme guy.
He gets 1 million views every.
It's definitely not me. No.
Every post. All right.
You can see this, right? This video.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? Why? Isn't the universe big enough?
This is one of Nicholson's greatest roles.
For both of us?
Opinion, by the way.
What is wrong with you people? We could work together. Why be enemies? Because we're different? Is that why? Think of the things that we could do. Think how strong we would be. Earth and Mars together. There is nothing that we could not accomplish. Think about it. Think about it. Why destroy when you can create? We can have it all, or we can smash it all. Why can't we work out our differences? Why can't we work things out? Little people. Why can't we all just get along?
Should have been a crescent moon.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's precisely the situation between the Western civilization and Islam. Okay, that's precisely the situation. Except that in this case, the Mars are more advanced, and
Dude, can I show the folks at home what the Mamdani thing will
I
look
guess
like?
it's not precisely the same situation, but
Who are the
something
people?
there.
Can I show the folks at home who are the people that want Mamdani to be mayor?
Yeah.
These are the people that want him to be mayor. Watch this.
We come in peace. We come in peace. We come in peace. We come in peace.
Back way.
Came in peace.
We came in peace.
In peace. We come in peace.
Whoa. Die, you alien shithead! I surrender!
No, it ain't happening. No, it didn't happen.
That's Mamdani voters.
I feel like the Mandani voters are the Martians.
I guess.
Okay. That's what I feel like they are.
Yeah.
Bro, I struggle. There's few things I hate more than the Democrat Party. And I struggle not to hate people who associate themselves with that party. People who call themselves Democrat.
Yeah.
I just know that a lot of them are just very low information. Who don't they're not inherently bad people. They don't know what the hell they're doing. I know I keep reminding myself of that. But after I was driving home today, I saw that stupid protest, that no kings or good trouble. I saw all this good trouble. I'm not sure exactly what that means.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, man. Now Sliwa has to win. That's why he's gonna win. Okay, that's how I see it.
Yeah.
And Trump is
They're,
gonna support him.
in these
By the
stupid
way,
polls, they're not even showing Sliwa head to head with anybody. They're just like
of
assuming that
course not. They know,
it's either gonna be Mamdani and Adams or Mamdani and Cuomo
dude. It's gonna
wins if
be
it's
it's gonna be the same story with Sliwa, kind of on a mini level as Trump during the
yeah,
election.
yeah,
Okay, Trump knows that Sliwa has to become the mayor. He knows that.
yeah.
Okay, everybody knows it. It has to happen. Has to
Sliwa's gonna
happen.
be like a mini what's his name? He's gonna be like a mini Trump. Not mini Trump, mini Giuliani.
Probably, yeah. Speaking of Giuliani, I saw somebody like what's that X account that keeps giving the news about Israel, what is it called? Like
Hey, this
OSINT
always and yeah.
something 613, right? That
Yeah,
one.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So he was saying he used Giuliani instead of Giuliani a
Yeah,
couple of times.
yeah,
Like the other day,
yeah.
everybody's like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Anyway, so apparently, I just read from a Drew's account
Mm-hmm.
that that Giuliani apparently is trying to block the 70 to 50,000 ISIS fighters from descending on the Druze.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, Israel is bombing the
yeah,
convoys,
yeah, yeah.
right? Um,
It's insane.
like, are they not allowed to have weapons? The Druze, like,
I don't even know. No, I think they are. I mean, they even one of their I guess the elders or whatever you call them, their clerics
Sheikh.
said that we're gonna fight until the last man. So I mean, I'm assuming they have weapons.
I know they're gonna, but like,
Yeah, dude, these are. I said this in one of my videos. These are descendants of Yitro, right? And everybody's complaining. Everybody, so to speak, on our side is complaining. How come all these people don't care about the suffering of the Druze? It's like saying you want Amalek to care about Yitro. Yitro joined the Jewish people. Yitro is with Moses, with Moshe Rabbeinu. Amalek is against Moses and the Jewish people. That includes Yitro.
yeah,
Yitro was a basically a Gnostic priest of the nations. He went to our side. He dropped. Imagine like the biggest. I said this. The biggest. Like a New Age. I don't know, cultist priest in the world. All of a sudden was like, oh, let's say today it would be like today, right? He sees the Lubavitch Rebbe, he'd be like, okay, I want to become I don't know, Noahide. I want to join the Jewish people. I want to be next to you. I want to be next to you, Rebbe, and I want to be a Noahide. I don't need to be a Jew. I should be a Noahide. He was like the biggest person in Sedona, Arizona.
yeah, the biggest
Even
New Age
this
leader,
is
right?
even bigger than that. This is even way big, like the whole world.
Yeah.
That guy. That guy that says the people are retarded. Like the guy like that, just decides to be near the Rebbe, like
Right.
Osho or something like that, or I don't know, what's his name, Deepak Chopra,
Yeah.
Lahavdil.
Let me read something.
Yeah.
This is Donald Trump posted this a few minutes ago, like even after we started the show.
Yeah.
That based on the ridiculous amount of publicity given to Jeffrey Epstein, I have asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony subject to court approval. This scam, in capital letters, perpetuated by the Democrats, should end right now.
You know what the scam is? It's not that Epstein had.
It's that we don't focus on Obama.
No, you see what Trump is trying to do. He successfully. I think what's happening is that he goaded to talk about it. They thought they put one over on him and somehow slipped his name into the list, meaning, if he releases it, it's kind of like if they're going down, he's going down too, that kind of thing. But what they don't realize is that he ain't on the damn list. And if he is, he's on a list with guys who went to like one party and decided, it's like that party that you went to in Israel, with the cigarette guy. You went one time and you left.
But can I tell the story? People
Yeah, tell
don't.
the story. Tell the story.
That's a quick story.
Yeah.
I went. I knew this guy. This guy Chad. He came to the yeshiva for a little bit.
His name was Chad.
Not the guy. The
Ah.
guy who got me to go to the party.
Oh, okay.
Chad. Chad was a good guy.
Oh, okay, fine.
So his Hebrew name was Chad. As in one. So Chad, right? Like,
Hilarious.
so he took me to this party with these flaky Anglo trust fund kids who probably are from like the Upper West Side, places like that. And they were all like really skinny, right? Which is a good thing. I'm not,
Yeah.
And they were wearing like boutique, like level, like new age flowing garb. Okay, it was really, it was really out there. Like the decor, whatever. These are like rich kids.
They still do it, man. And now they're doing ayahuasca.
This
But
is
anyway.
20. This is 25 years ago.
It's gotten way worse. But continue.
Okay, I'm just saying, whatever, like whatever the kids are doing now, they're copying these jackasses.
And if you tell
we're
this to a
copying
friend-
the California new age jackasses from the late 60s, like people from like during the Beach Boys,
If you tell this to our friend Stuyvesant, he'll be very upset. But anyway, continue.
Anyway, so we go there and there's like drum circles and people just hanging out and being very flaky and skinny, very frail.
Yes.
And I asked politely if and I'm like, I feel like this like large animal, you know what I mean? Like around all these like these delicate little, I feel like the proverbial bull in a china shop, but I'm a very well-behaved bull. And I was just like, people are smoking. They're smoking weed. There's hookah, nargila, and people smoke. So I'm like, somebody's like rolling their own cigarette, and I'm like, would it be okay if I smoke? I shouldn't have even asked because everybody else was smoking.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to be extra polite. And the guy's like, sure, man, of course, like that. So I take out one of my parliaments, right? And I start smoking, and he's like, actually, man, it's a little offensive. He's like, can you?
He said offensive?
He's like, it's a little intense, something like. I can't remember the exact. The truth is, I can't remember the exact words, but he's like, it's really intense, something like that. And I'm just like,
Brighton Beach is too intense for him.
So I'm like, no problem. I'm looking at Chad. I'm like, son of a bitch, you took me here. I'm blaming you for this.
Dude, can I tell you something? Story. I literally, a friend of mine, he's a psychologist, a clinical trained psychologist, not psychiatrist, because psychiatrists are MDs and they prescribe medication.
Yeah.
And he left me an audio a couple of days ago. He moved back to he used to live in Israel, and he spent some time around the same types of folks that I did, and with the whatever, the ayahuasca spiritualist whatever crowd, Jewish whatever. And he goes to me, the people that I know that I'm going to have the biggest trouble with in terms of the sessions are the self-styled, the people who actually do all the healing, they do like what's called the Wim Hof, the Wim Hof breathing stuff, and the what is it, the sound baths and the cold plunges. He goes, and
that's
ayahuasca.
Different.
Yeah. No, but he goes, these are the people that, like, when I sit down with them and I tell them, about all their inner, like, literally inner child healing and all that kind of thing. These are people, they just like, they go off on me. And he's like, the easiest people I have easiest clients are the Australian country folk, Crocodile Dundee MFers who do the quickest healing and they're the most open to everything, to hearing everything, to understanding everything about themselves. And these people are like, no, you're wrong, you're this, you don't know what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. But they just like, they, because you prodded something inside of them, that they just like, it's basically suppressed latent anger, and like, Fury.
Yeah,
Uh,
beta guy.
yeah,
I think like I heard Gavin McInnes. I haven't checked in with Gavin
yeah,
McInnes in a long time. I don't really want to because
okay,
I don't know if he, became officially a Groiper. He
yeah,
was always like riding the Groiper fence,
yeah,
but still saying that he was like a Zionist.
yeah,
He hangs out with Jew haters, but
yeah,
somehow, says he's a that he loves Israel and he loves
yeah,
Jews, right?
yeah,
I don't know. I haven't checked in with him in a while, but he said
yeah,
something which is true. He said something that these beta guys, right? These like type of guys like Harry Season
Sisson,
or
yeah, Sisson,
not
yeah,
or not Season, the other guy, that David Hogg, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
People like that, like those kind of dudes, right? These beta dudes, right?
yeah,
Are the ones who will do the most assault against women, against like
yeah,
liberal women. Like
right,
whenever liberal women have some kind of bad encounter
yeah,
with like the patriarchy, like
yep,
that's that's their, you know, fucking David Hogg. That's
yep,
their interaction with the patriarchy, right? That's the guy who slips them a roofie and fills them up when when they're drunk at a party or something like that.
correct.
Okay, it's those kind of guys. It's not the Chad. It's not Chad who plays football and then goes to join the Marines. It's not That's not the guy
No,
who does that. It's these
no.
like beta.
It's what's depicted in you know, in 80s movies, but it's not, what
Yeah.
I call the shush guy from Encino Man.
No, yeah, it's
Shush.
similar. It's similar to what you were describing, right? It's like
Yeah,
those kind of like flaky, full of shit, Gnostic fruitcake kind of wannabe,
yeah,
wearing puka shells,
yeah.
right? That's the guy with that pent up rage, right?
Do you know what I was saying the other day? You know, I don't know if I should say this, but I notice, like, it's interesting when I lived in Crown Heights, the people, there's a lot of these types of kids, they grew up in religious families. Their parents were became religious, later in life, and that was thanks to the Lubavitch Rebbe. Interestingly enough, I found myself getting along better with their parents than with them. Because it's funny, their parents, some of their parents, not all of them, were hippies, right, in the 1670s, and then the Rebbe got to them, or they found the Rebbe, and the Rebbe turned them into basically Chabadniks. These people, what are they trying to do? Their kids and their grandkids, they're trying to, because they grew up Chabad, right? They grew up like black hat kind of as a kid. They're trying to reverse engineer, and they think that they can go from being Chabad or to integrate hippiedom or modern whatever this is, hipsterdom from the non-Jewish world into being Chabad. You can do it the way that their grandparents did it in that direction. You can't do it in the other direction, especially if you grew up Chabad. If maybe somebody like us could kind of do it, well, we're coming from that world, right? You and I, sort of, kind of. Me and Eric, maybe you.
Yeah.
And then we can integrate Chabad into whatever the hell we come from, because we know the pitfalls of where we come from. These kids, they have no idea about they don't even know what they're getting into. Like, I told them, dude, I literally almost screamed at like a bunch of people on Shavuot. Me and my friend were learning, and then a bunch of people just like circled. I think I told you this. They huddled around us. We were learning like something from like the Alter Rebbe on Shavuot, about Shavuot, and then we got on the topic of something about whatever it was. I don't remember what it was. And then I mentioned how all these people in the scene, I literally I referred to everybody around us. I'm like, everybody's doing ayahuasca, this, because they want to, get away from like reality and not face what's coming, right? So and they know what's coming, so to speak. And we're talking about, resurrection of the dead and this. So to numb themselves, they're doing ayahuasca, cocaine, special K. They don't know what they're doing. Like, you and I know what this is, Eric knows what this is. People who grew up like us and came to Torah and mitzvot know what this is. They're coming from Torah, from that world into the world. They think know where they're going. Just like when they do ayahuasca, they think they know where they are. They think they're in the city of Luz. Like this girl, she was like, well, why can't you just have, let people have their experiences? I'm like, listen, I'm not going to put a gun to that. They're going to have whatever experience they want. But I'm not going to sit there and be silent about if people are just bringing literal Gnostic fruitcakery into Judaism. They're not reformed. They're not trying to reform Judaism. They're trying to, I don't know, make some kind of synergy between Hasidut and I don't know.
New Age bullshit.
Yeah, New Age crap. I mean, and you tell them this, they're like, no, there's just modalities. There's this, there's that, there's this, and healing, and all this. Dude, yeah.
Can you please live on air do a search for the word modality, please? Because if I hear that word again, just so you understand, most people are not using it correctly.
A particular mode in which something exists or is experienced or expressed.
I hate that a word exists like that.
Why?
It's such a nothing example. Things exist a certain way. You've described nothing.
It's in a certain mode or a certain method.
Yes, that's even worse, Greg.
That's it.
No. It's no. That's not it, Greg.
Okay.
That's not it. Okay.
Okay.
If you're gonna use words like that around me, there's gonna be trouble. Okay.
It's the way or mode in which something is done. The style.
I know.
That's it.
That shouldn't exist.
Okay.
Language is here to teach us specific things.
Okay.
Okay. You don't need a word that is that unspecific. Do you understand? Words are here to help us communicate the existence of different things. There's a book.
Well, you realize English is different from the Hebrew. Is that what you're describing is Hebrew?
Correct. That's why I'm saying that
English is a label language. It's not a like every word in Hebrew describes what the purpose of the object is.
Listen,
right?
Modality is a term that was created.
I know,
right? It's definitely related
by HR. It was created by HR.
It's definitely it's a soak realistic, to invoke Oana.
Well,
right?
I was quoting those people, by the way. I wasn't quoting myself.
It's the Hegelian dialectic kind of shit.
Yeah,
where
I know.
Where you don't it mean instead of saying, there's things that are done a certain way, which is an unnecessary statement. It provides absolutely no useful information at all.
Yeah.
It's a statement. It's almost like saying "kakapupo."
Yeah,
something that makes no sense.
Okay,
you've not done anything. You have not accomplished.
To rephrase that entire term,
dude. Wait.
There's things and stuff people do to heal. Is that better?
It makes me feel like I spoke to someone, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to be very. I don't want to speak Lashon Hara, but there's someone who was trying to steal my brother's money.
Okay.
He was trying to steal. This person was trying to steal money that my brother intended for his children. When I spoke to another person to seek comfort, perhaps, or advice, right? And I said that here's this person, look what they're doing.
Yeah.
I'm not revealing their gender. Look what they're doing.
Yeah.
And the person's response, after was like, well, I mean, that's what, they feel that they're right.
It's a nothing comment. Yeah.
Why did he say it to me?
I have no idea.
What was accomplished?
Did you ask the person why?
Yeah, I did.
What is his answer?
What is your statement? what is your statement doing? You said something that is not that is obvious and nonsensical. Anyway, modality is even worse than that.
Correct. But
It's way worse than
by
that.
Frank, I was just quoting them. I wasn't.
I know, but
I wasn't speaking as myself.
sometimes I'm going to kill the messenger. Okay.
Thank you.
Because you tell me stories about people that infuriate me. So therefore, and you like to do it. So therefore, you're going to get some of it. Okay?
What do you mean I like to do it?
I know you like to do it. Anyway, so I think
Frank, I don't understand. I don't understand what that means.
I think you do it to round me up. Like you do impressions of people. Like what's the Shyla? It makes me want to bang my head.
I actually do impressions of people to make people laugh and or to mock the person I'm doing an impression of, not to rile you up.
Fine, but I get riled up. So anyway, so modality is basically when someone says to you, look at this person, I say to you, Greg, that person is wallowing in their own crap on the floor. And then you say to me, well, there are people who do things. Right? Who
it sounds like Tony Soprano. People do things sometimes.
The people who do things a certain way.
And things got to be done to them.
Please don't detract from me.
I know.
Okay? Saying there's that lady who's she's puking.
Yeah.
She's puking onto the people on that boat, covering them all with puke. And then you tell me people who do things and sometimes it's a certain way.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So instead of making such a ridiculous, useless statement, which actually corrodes the mind, right? It whittles my spirit, it corrodes the mind. They created a word called modality.
Correct.
Modality is a word which it's used to create something that sounds intelligent, but to cover over.
I know
that nonsensical.
I know it's an HR vocabulary word. That's what it is.
I get mad because I used to like hear words, and then I looked them up, and I still wouldn't understand what they mean. Modality was one of them. I was like, when I didn't understand what they meant, I couldn't. It just wasn't clicking. And then I realized
it's not supposed to click. Yeah.
It's not me. It's nothing. There's nothing there. There's nothing to latch on to. There's nothing useful because my mind is always reaching for, where is this? Where does this fit in the world?
I know.
Who needs this?
So I have a question for you, and I have my own answer. But like, if you were to describe, there's many different ways. Like if you were to tell a person, you're trying to tell a person, there's many different ways that people, many different things that people do to heal, right? There's different methods, there's different whatever it is. What word would you use?
How would you describe that? People do all sorts of shit to try to heal.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the real way of describing that.
Yeah, so those people they're kind of like defending it.
Modalities, black.
So they get into that stuff. Yeah. It's unfortunate. Yeah,
I'll give them modalities.
Exactly. I went off.
Got your modality right here.
Exactly. On that evening, and the people were just like, it's like I don't want to say shining a light on cockroaches, but it was something akin to that. Like no one ever called anybody out for anything. No one ever says anything to, and if you do, you're being what is it? You're being
dude, it is. You know what it is?
You're a joy kill, you're a buzz kill.
Yeah, these circles that you're describing, folks, let me give you a brief description. A lot of the people who are hanging out in these circles are people who consider themselves kind of like refugees from Haredi society. Now, let me explain. Haredi is usually, when you hear ultra orthodox.
Yeah.
Now, ultra orthodox communities are all about accountability. Okay, accountability 100% of the time, from the moment you wake up in the morning to the moment you go to sleep. Even while you're asleep, you are accountable for all your actions, for all your thoughts, for all your feelings. You have to be aware of what you're eating, whether or not God approves, what you're wearing, whether or not God approves, whether it fits. Everything. Accountability is the word that describes Orthodox Jewish life. Okay.
Mhm.
Most of the people that you hear about, if you're listening to this podcast, right? Whenever you only hear about the outliers uh, from the Orthodox Jewish world. Only when they get caught in some kind of business scandal, or some retard got caught at a strip show or
Yeah.
something like that. But the vast majority don't have nothing to do with any of that shit that you ever hear about. And when you go inside their communities, it's all about accountability, and they attempt to sprinkle it with some joy and some singing and some spirituality. Okay, that's what it is. It's accountability. Okay. Now, when you go to these places that he's describing, right, which is filled with new age caca, okay, and then when you try to shine a light of accountability, anything at all, even to the slightest degree, it's literally like, oh, how dare you ask us to be accountable in any way for anything that we're doing or thinking? That's what he's describing, folks. Okay, I hope
I'll tell you like this. In these particular cases, some of these events, it's kind of a what we call a cholent of stuff. There's people like myself. There's people who grew up, or like you and I. There's also people who grew up religious who actually are pretty, they stay kind of on the path. Then there's people who are again legit trying to keep stuff for the most part, but they're throwing in other things, or they're just kind of a lot of stuff. A lot of it feels like high school. Remember when I told you you thought I was being figurative, you're like everything, because you said to me last episode, everything's it's like the junior high school dance. When I say it's high school, literally that's what it feels like hanging out with some of these flipping people.
I was saying that the world is a junior high school dance.
I know, yeah.
You got to be careful in our current climate. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I just want to be clear on what we're talking
Yeah.
about here.
Yeah.
Let me add just kind of breaking news. Beep, 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 beep. Okay. Just that thing I read about Trump, where he said, based on the ridiculous amount of publicity given to Jeffrey Epstein,
Yeah.
I've asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony subject to court approval. This scam perpetuates. Democrats should end right now. So she responded saying, President Trump, we are ready to move the court tomorrow to unseal the grand jury transcripts.
Okay.
This is what I hoped he would do. I'd be
believe
like,
it when I see it.
Yeah, look at it. Like, here you go.
By the way, they canceled. I think, now that Stephen Colbert's PSYOP mission is over for the, whatever faction of CIA he's working for
and nobody's watching it.
And nobody's watching it. No, they canceled it. Financial decision.
Yeah.
He did his stuff with the people dancing in the needle, the syringe costumes, and that was it. Dude, wasn't it one of those creepiest things you've ever seen in your life?
I never actually saw it until, you showed it to me on the show as one of those clips.
Really?
Yeah. No, you showed it to me. I saw it. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Like, I never watched the show, so
I literally had to watch it like a few times just to make sure it's like real. Like I was just like, is this real? Is this actually happening right now?
Yeah.
And then that's when I realized that's one of the things, one of the moments I realized that whole thing was like I was trying to show it to my friends, the ones who took the stuff, who wouldn't listen to me. I'm like, dude, look at who is. Look at the background of the people who are pushing this stuff, and look how they're doing it. Yeah, so it's just a show. I'm just like, are you kidding me, man? And whatever, we had these conversations, but it was just amazing. I don't know, man. I'm still thinking about this whole thing, how this is going to play out. It's funny. I was reading, that whole SPARS pandemic thing, that document they came out with. Remember during it basically it was a mock here. It was made by what's it called? It was made by Johns Hopkins University
Yeah.
Center for Public whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So futuristic scenario for public health risk communication. So basically, it's the SPARS pandemic, 2025 to 2028. But they came out with this, when was this released? It was funded by there was the team, a bunch of these doctors, and in Johns Hopkins in Maryland, and then you have this thing. But when was this released? When was this?
Dude, somebody ripped you off. I'm sorry. I'm just looking at something.
What?
You know that X account Yog deal isn't brisk.
Yeah. What about him?
First of all, the guy pisses me off a lot. Like he's fucking he does If I could put Elmo, like at the Rebbe, like fucking double you up.
Yeah.
But he actually just he posted something of he said Lubavitch couples be like, right? And there's like this stunningly beautiful woman.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah, I've seen that before.
I know, but no, isn't that your idea?
No, it's not. I've seen that before. Somebody else came up with it. It's not my idea.
Oh, I thought you're the one who came up with like
No. but this is very funny. He didn't rip me off.
Could you show the folks? Could you show
this
the
is this is and he goes, I think I know what radicalized Elmo. He's jealous. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. This is what Greg describes as Chabad.
Dude, you see, when I lived in Crown Heights, that was literally, or you see like, if you look at like the engagement photos,
Yeah.
it's literally what you see. So Frank tells me all the time, so you should start looking like this guy, and then you'll get her.
I really think it's that simple.
And look as much like this guy as possible.
Well, I got to send this to my nephew.
Oh, man. Yeah, this is what radicalized Elmo is. That's actually very funny. Aye. What's UO? He's a UOL graduate. What's UOL? Associated Press. Oh, that page. Okay, that's what he does. Dude, so basically, this whole SPARS pandemic thing, it's like a mock pandemic that they did, tabletop exercise. And in the thing, they actually have an entire scenario where parents try to sue, the government for vax injuries. And one of the things is they try to remove the, indemnification. So I was reading this today. I was just reminded of it today. And I thought to myself, so these son of a bitches accounted for this. They accounted for the fact that somebody will try this. Because this was basically sponsored by WEF. This thing. Here, I'll show it to you. I mean, this was shown in many different, Telegram groups, different, this thing. I think it was, a futuristic scenario. Yeah, 2017, October 2017.
Yeah.
But I think what's his name had a hand in this. As well as Bloomberg School of Public Health. But for sure they were connected to this, See, you get here, vaccine injury. Go to page 60. Just 1 second. All the way down. Like, they know. That's it. Okay. They even had like a person in this particular scenario, a girl developed an app for people to report their injuries, like an actual, instead of VAERS, they had like an app. So he says, another group that was not generally affected by the government's Corovax promotion efforts were college students, especially those attending school on the East and West Coast. Public health officials had no explanation for the lack of vaccine uptake, which is BS, among this population, until protests began at several campuses in Berkeley, Washington, Reed College, Harvard, and Chicago. Oh, the focus of these protests was the lack of access to Corovax. particularly for populations of less developed countries like Haiti, Guatemala, and Cameroon. Okay. The students involved declared that they would not accept Corovax until it was made available in terms of both access and expense. Okay, so this is like ideologues. Okay. So here we get to the part with there's a part where they try to where people are suing them. 1 second, secondary angle. Just 1 second. There's a part. Here you go. Recovery. There you go. See, it says claims of side effects began to emerge. Several parents claimed that their children were experiencing neurological symptoms similar to those seen among livestock exposed to the GMI, the same vaccine. By May 2027, parental anxiety around this claim had intensified to the point of lawsuits. That month, a group of parents whose children developed mental retardation as a result of encephalitis in the wake of Corvax vaccination sued the federal government, demanding removal of the liability shield protecting the pharmaceutical companies responsible for developing and manufacturing Corovax. The growing plaintiff cohort quickly withdrew their suit upon learning that the National Vaccine Injury Compensation Trust Fund, NVICTF, an emergency appropriation of funds authorized by Congress under the PrEP Act, existed to provide financial reimbursement to those who were adversely affected by the Corovax vaccine in order to cover healthcare costs and other related expenses. Given the positive reaction to the federal government's response and the fact the majority of U.S. citizens willing to be vaccinated had already been immunized, the negative publicity surrounded adverse reactions had little effect on nationwide vaccination rate. So they're like, see, the concern was high among African American parents who continued to question the government's motives regarding the Corovax vaccination campaign. Dude, so like they wrote all this. See, it says, a popular science blogger, Epigirl, for example, began posting interactive maps of incidents of Corovax side effects in April 2027. To create the maps, Epigirl collected anecdotes of adverse Corovax side effects using Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and combined them with the data downloaded from HHS VAERS, the National Vaccine Safety Surveillance thing. She encouraged those among her subscribers who were Apple product users to share health data with her via Apple's research kit and healthcare applications. These are real applications, by the way. Her maps were constantly shared widely in social media circles and even included in local national news reports. The federal government became concerned about the validity of Epigirl's anecdotal data and widespread sharing of patient information via the internet. Her data showed significantly higher incidence rates of nearly every reported side effect. However, federal officials believed that this was largely due to duplicate entries resulting from compiling data from multiple sources. Blah, blah, blah. This whole scenario that they cooked up, you know? That they're like anticipating. Dude, I'm telling you, it's incredible.
Yeah, it's a script.
They know what's coming. They know how to fight it. They have all the lawyers. And
all scripted.
Yeah. And so I was just thinking about, why would I show this? I was just thinking about this, like, not that I'm like putting my faith at all in RFK or any of these people who are in now, but will something be a trigger for a process to start? Because right now, dude, you see what they're doing. They're trying to figure out. I mean, I think they already figured it out, but they're trying to prove beyond the shadow of a doubt that basically, all the pardons that were given by Biden were not given. So now we understand that Fauci was never pardoned. So if he's never pardoned, now you can do something. The question is, will anybody do anything?
I keep saying, like, with this, even with this Epstein thing, even if there's nothing to it, it just seems like until like Obama or Clinton or a Fauci or even an Adam Schiff or someone on that level is taken down and imprisoned, incarcerated, right? I feel like it's going to take Mashiach to do it.
Yeah.
I think Trump has to. It's almost like he has to make a decision. Look, I close the border.
Yeah.
I quash domestic threats, domestic, terrorists all over the place. I get rid of the illegals, right? Deport the illegals, right? I get American industry moving, the economy, right? Or I put these guys like away. I don't think he can do it all at once.
Yeah.
Or it's one or the other.
Yeah, it's one or the other, because if you put them away, if you do start a process of putting all these people away, you will, at least temporarily, the economy is going to take a hit. Temporarily, not permanently.
I'm not working. You see, no, that's not. I don't think I don't think it's that simple.
Okay.
I think that he's floating on a rotten ship.
I know.
Right? Like the entire country, right? From the government aspect is like a ship. It's like a rust bucket.
Yeah, I know.
Right? And it's kind of because of like, I don't know, on some miracle.
Buoyancy.
Buoyancy. Somehow it's like not dissolving.
Yeah.
All at once.
Yeah.
Right? So he needs to kind of like, in order to get rid of that rust, right? It's all rust.
Yeah.
So he needs to replace some of it. It's like that movie that came out a few years ago. Damn, I forgot what it was called. City of Lights, I think. City of Lights.
What was the plot? What was the plot of the movie?
It's a science fiction movie. It came out it's really good. It's surprisingly one of the good movies that came out.
Who was in it? Like, what's the plot?
2000. And Bill Murray was in it. He played like this ridiculous character as he
Iraq War veteran returns to hometown.
No. I guess maybe City of Light. So anyway, it's like 300 years in the future after the nuclear, annihilation. Mm-hmm. These people built this city like miles underground, like deep underground.
Oh, City of Ember. You talked about this.
City of Ember. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right. City.
Yeah.
Right. And
2008.
The city itself was only designed to last for like 150 or 200 years.
Yeah.
And then once it dissolves, right, some kind of like lever is pulled, and then all this mechanical stuff works, and then this transportation system supposed to transport the population of the city. But I guess they forgot that's what the engineers planned. And the whole time they were just trying to keep the city like patched up. Everything was breaking down.
Cranking, yeah.
It was breaking down. And then you had the people, and everybody had their assigned task in the city. There's only a certain amount of jobs you can have.
Yeah.
And the primary job that was necessary was pipe patchers.
Yeah.
Right? Patching up the pipe and keep plumbing system working, right? And there's this one scene where the guy, Martin Landau, he goes, there's more patch than pipe.
Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of, I think, what Trump is working with, right? Where they need to replace some of the ribs of the ship, just to kind of to create something that will continue floating, and then they can start punching through the rusty, that rusty shit. This is my metaphor for for me. I'm always making excuses for Trump, and that's what.
So basically, it's kind of like a race against time, almost, in a way.
Yeah. So I think ultimately, for what people are demanding, right? They need to see Mashiach. Mashiach has to come. But here's the thing: people are saying, like, the only thing that I hear, like, people from like General Flynn, right? He's like, look, we can't tolerate child abusers, child rapists, and I fully agree.
Yeah.
But I guess it's a choice at this point. Which child abusers are you going to go after? Because by far the most child rape that's occurring in this country is not necessarily the cabal, even though it's a part of it, but it's what's happening at the border, right? The migrants, right? The migrants are the ones that the children who are crossing the border are the ones who are getting raped.
We were there.
Like literally, like as in an epidemic. Like it's part of the border cross process is to get raped. It's not like it happens once a week. It's part of the system. So if you want to, you know, if you're going to take on the primary abusers, then I don't think Epstein is on the top of the totem pole if you're trying to stop abuse of children from occurring. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was something happening in the past.
Yeah.
Right. The guy is dead. Right. If you know, I assume most people believe he's dead.
Well, the key is not him. The key is all the people that are. And now they're saying that it wasn't only abuse of children. It was also he was involved with all the anti-gravity research and all. It goes.
I don't know if we
into
have time to get into that.
Yeah, I'm saying
because I didn't even look at that. I didn't. Even
I know what I'm saying is it supposedly, allegedly, it goes into conversations with Bill Gates about you know what, and then there's all these things that went on that these people are connected to, meaning
it's connected to everything.
The people that tried to kill us also did this and also did that, and
also Ghislaine Maxwell. Why is she in prison?
Yeah, correct.
Right. If there's no if she's a trafficker,
if there's nothing,
underage girls, who, right? Where?
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Who's responsible? Who's responsible for that? Yeah.
Is that going to be part of?
And the fact that nobody talks about her well, I hate to bring it into that realm, but her father was.
Yes, we know how much you hate Farrakhan. We know. I understand.
Hate who? No, I don't know. It's the other way around. The opposite. Like her father actually did stuff. Like he wasn't against America, and he did help Israel. And I think that
I understand, but just by the associate, I get it. I was kidding, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not, you know what I mean. Let it, you know, that is a question. Like, why is she in jail? Is that going to be part of information that they release tomorrow? Right? That shit that we just read about Pam Bondi and what Trump was saying. Like that needs to be addressed. Right. I wanted to talk about a few different things though. Okay. The point is that with the Epstein thing, right, there's a lot of other things going on, right? Internal, you know, domestic terror, external terror that now is inside of our country, right? ICE agents getting shot at for rounding up, you know, really nasty criminals. Then you have these jihadists who are running to be mayor of major cities, one of them New York, right? There's a lot of stuff. There's economic issues, all this kind of stuff, right? So Trump is doing a lot of work.
Yeah.
Okay. So is this Epstein? You know, is everybody gonna just pull the emergency brake on this whole thing because of Epstein? I don't know if that's right. Okay. Plus, I think most of the people, like some people have a legitimate concern, and Epstein is a legitimate concern. And why is Ghislaine Maxwell in prison? And I get it. And he is right. It's part of the deep state network. Absolutely. But most people who are harping on Epstein just hate Jews and they hate Israel.
I know that.
That's what it's really about. You know, that's why the primary voices.
I know. Are these anti-Mossad people and all the rest of it? Yeah.
Right.
Anti-Israel people, but like they're trying to implicate Mossad in the whole thing.
Right. Mossad. And
listen.
The Jews,
my whole, but you know what the irony is? Let's put aside those people for a second. I just want to put them aside for a second, and honestly, I want to pretend they don't exist for a split second. You have this guy who's responsible, was probably one of the people responsible for October 7th, meaning in terms of allowing this to happen, and he's responsible for the protests that are happening in Israel against the government. And the people who are protesting represent, let's say, 5% of the Israeli public, right?
You're talking about Ehud Barak.
Ehud Barak. And listen, we know, I've been saying it since the beginning, that he had, and I'm not saying it's Mossad, I'm saying it's him. So it's him. It's like Bill Clinton, right? This guy has nothing to do with Israel. He might as well be like that guy from Mars Attacks. In my mind, that's who Barack is. He's got nothing to do with Israel, nothing to do with Mossad anymore, or with the army anymore, with whatever. If he was ever a hero in some anti-terror operation on a plane back in the 70s, that's long gone. That's not the same guy. Something happened to him. I don't know what happened. Something happened to him, right? So if you just so much as peel back the cover from this thing, you solve a lot of problems just in terms of that on that level that are happening in Israel that are causing problems for in the scope of everything that's being done with respect to this whole Gaza thing. Meaning all these people that are protesting, democratia, democratia, release the hostages at any cost. He's leading those protests. So if you literally just get rid of the guy, get rid of people like him from the Israeli political scene. If you expose him, then all the other people they're just going to stop following him because they're going to realize all people like him and all their friends are fruitcakes, literal fruitcakes, right? And that's it. And now Israel can just defend itself, literally defend itself, get whatever is left of the hostages back in the way that people who follow Torah do it, as opposed to at any cost. What would you do if it was?
Okay, I understand, Greg, but obviously, there's a reason why it can't happen that simply. You're muted, by the way.
Sorry, sir. I'm getting
Sowietism? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
continue.
I'm just saying that there's a reason. Because it would look, it's that rusty sheet metal, right? If you pull away, like let's say you pull out Ehud Barak, right? Who's a completely rusty screw.
Yeah.
Right? Rusted through. The thing is, it's interwoven with a partially rusty plank.
Yeah.
It's not fully rotted yet.
Yeah.
And that plank is interwoven with that rusty screw. Right? That's, by the way, spreading rust throughout through this metallic girder plank thing. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the plank is still holding up part of the ship. So if you try to pull out Ehud Barak, which is like embedded like a tick in that plank, you're gonna cause catastrophic collapse in this partially still functioning rib of the ship, and then the whole thing will just sink.
Yeah.
Right? Because let's say I need Fred, like let's say Trump needs Fred to do something. He made a deal with Fred. Fred is a dick, but Fred can help Trump get something passed.
Yeah.
Right? Like let's say Fred is in charge of Coca-Cola, and Trump needs Coca-Cola to be no more,
Can you use a different name because Fred was his father's name?
Okay.
Whatever, John.
Well, okay. John needs. I use names that I heard from Norm Macdonald, right?
Okay.
He's always using there's Don and there's Frank and there's okay. So right, who was it? Fred?
Yeah.
Who got him? Frank?
Yeah.
Remember he's talking about the alligator, the crocodile hunter.
Yeah.
He was having a conversation between two crocodiles who heard about the death of the crocodile hunter.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Who got him? Frank?" One crocodile said to the other. He goes, "No, some fruity fish."
That's hilarious.
Anyway, so Trump needs Jason, right, to talk to the CEO of Coca-Cola to get Coca-Cola to be healthier for the public, right? Cane sugar instead of high fructose corn syrup, right?
Yeah.
It'll change people's lives
in
terms of their health. Okay. The problem is that Jason is college roommates and best buddies with Ehud Barak.
Yeah.
And and Ehud Barak got Jason wrapped up in some shady shit, right?
Yeah.
But Jason needs to do something. He's a lever.
Yeah. He's the guy in the bottom of the rusty Titanic. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a lever, right? So if you flick off Barak, you're gonna take Jason down, and Jason needs to make cane sugar happen.
Yeah.
You understand? Like that's what's going on. That's what he's dealing with. He's a deal maker.
Yeah.
Trump. He thinks he can do everything. He can make deals with everybody. So you know that's what's going on.
Yeah,
okay.
Obviously.
He needs to use the people who are going to go down.
Well, one of the theories is that he's dangling because he needs to use, for example, the people in, for example, NATO, those places. He's dangling this whole thing as a basically not releasing it to get kind of what he wants in that sphere. That's just one of the spheres he wants, the NATO stuff with respect to Ukraine and Russia and Israel, all the stuff, Iran, Europe, all the money that they have to spend versus how much we have to spend, all these things.
Yeah. And he's got to make them feel like he's gonna like they can make deals to save their necks.
Yeah.
And that's how he's getting everybody to do whatever he's successfully able to do, people.
Yeah.
He's doing it because he can get he's blackmailing them.
This is why it's pissing me off that you got all these not even Groyper, just regular conservative commentators. Oh, we voted for this and now we're getting they don't understand. They're refusing either they're refusing to think or they're just doing this because it's kayfabe and they're just trying to be
most of them are doing it because they're trying to get views.
They're trying to get views and they're trying to play into this adversarial whatever. Not adversarial, but just
Also, most of them are being paid to do this.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I think they all got in the room and Trump is like, listen, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. You guys are gonna pretend like you're, we voted for this kind of thing, shtick. And then of course the Democrats are gonna pine for me to release whatever because whatever it is. Like today they asked that clown, unfortunately, the guy with the bandana, unfortunately he's a gyno in the Democratic Party.
Oy vey.
And he's like, and the guy asked him, how come you guys didn't release the thing during Biden? He's like, well, we were busy. We were busy. Okay. I mean,
don't bring up the bandana man. Do me a favor. Don't bring him up.
I don't remember his name. That's why. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Don't bring him up. Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Can we change gears a little bit? I want because it's we're halfway through.
Yeah.
The show.
Yes.
If not more.
Or probably more. Almost.
I just wanted to talk about a couple of things, and I wanted to talk about my cat Phoebe. Right. For those who saw last week's episode, right? We're talking about Phoebe. I had to put Phoebe down.
I'm sorry.
Put her to sleep.
I'm sorry.
And I wanted to talk about her, which would be strange for most people, right? Because people don't take pets seriously or animals seriously. I don't think she was a pet. I don't look at the animals that live in my house as pets. They're family members. They're creatures that God created, and He put them in my care somehow. I wasn't looking. It's not like I went to the pet store to get them. They just ended up in my life, and very similar to how most people end up in my life. I never go looking for people.
Yeah, same.
Most of the people I know just somehow ended up in my life.
Same. Yeah.
The people, especially I wouldn't say I was a very social person. Still not. Yet there's people in my life, and they just kind of appeared at some point. I don't know how they got there. I don't remember how long. I don't remember how it happened. It just happened. The best example of that is Eric. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Eric is extra weird because he was always kind of there. I just didn't know it for most of the time. Yeah. Eric appeared in my life after I came back from Israel, right? And he was just hanging out with Stan. And then I don't know, it just happened. And then I find out that he's the son of somebody that my dad knows really well, and he was on whatever, that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And but I want just so that's how Phoebe found her way into my life, and she was 15 years, so she's been in my life 15 years,
Well,
and she had two kittens. The reason she had two kittens, right, that are still with me, right? She had them 14 years ago.
yeah.
Is because we didn't have the money to get her fixed
Yeah.
in time.
Because you got to do it
Okay,
early.
and we already had Sashi, who was only was with us back then. He had a heart condition, and he passed. Yeah, he died. Can't believe how long it's been now, right? But we only had him for 2 years, right? But anyway, so she had these two kittens who are still with us, right? And they only ended up in our lives because we weren't able to do something to prevent that, right? We didn't have.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just that's how things happen. So we have this kitty Phoebe, and she's part of my life for 15 years. That's like the majority of my marriage.
Yeah.
And she's moved with us all 11 times.
How do you do cats? I want to ask you a question. How do you move cats? Like if you're driving?
It's an absolute. I don't want to get. It's too much. It's
difficult.
age.
It's difficult.
Okay. Very, very difficult. Very difficult. But she's part of our family. We love her very, very much. And we spent 15 years. Okay. I keep emphasizing that. And in the past so I just wanted to say that she's so much part of our life that Rafi's first coherent sentence was Phoebe make pee-pee.
That's so cute.
Yeah, because she was having like a pee-pee issues where she would pee on the floor, and it'd be a chronic thing, right? She'd always be peeing right by the front door. Okay, so it was a constant issue. We had to wake up in the morning, clean it up every day. We just decided at the end to put wee pads there because that's it. That's what she does.
And then when I come into Frank's house, folks, I have to step over
the wee pad, but not anymore. Because not anymore. And I would do anything to get those peepees, to get that pee back. Okay, as much as it was really annoying, and it was a pain in the butt. But I would do anything to get that pee back, to see that pee by the front door.
Folks, Phoebe is
the
the one.
To hear Rafi say, "Pee make pee." That's what I.
Phoebe's the one that comes on camera. Used to come on camera all the time. Huh?
No.
Who's that one?
The one who would like scream in the background. Meow.
Oh, who's the one that comes on camera? Oh,
because she was deaf. Oh, that's Squeaky.
Oh, Squeaky.
Yeah. So
Scratchy.
they're both white kitties, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so Phoebe is so just without any added information, she was a very important part of my life, and it feels like losing an appendage. It's like a real family member. And then everybody, it's hard to talk about this with people because you're always risking talking to someone who's like, come on, he's making a big deal out of a cat.
Yeah.
He's making a big deal out of a dog. You're making a big deal out of a gerbil. You're making a big deal out of a lizard.
Yeah.
And I don't think that I can have any kind of relationship with a person who thinks that. So if I have somebody in my life that's already like that, it's a risk to bring this up with them, because I don't want to know that. If that's you, I don't want to know that about you.
I know. So
I just wanted to say that it's hard to talk about it because people don't it's a very personal kind of pain that you can't really share with anybody. Even people who still feel that way about their own. You still can't. I noticed like people who really love their own pets, they can't take your pet seriously. Like I know somebody who I love.
I definitely took your cat seriously in more ways than one.
I'm not talking about you, but someone who was very close to me hurt me really bad. It was a family member who they lost their dog, and they were so obsessed with their dog, and it was so painful. And then, I told them about a cat that I lost, and they're like, that's like whatever. You know what I mean? Like people, it's always a risk to share something painful with
dude, I
people.
just think people are just into them.
So
They're into
So
themselves.
my recommendation is don't share.
Yeah.
That's part of what I'm bringing up, right? Keep it in. It's personal. I know that's the opposite of most of the time what you're going to hear from like modern psychologists and even like religious people. Oh, you should open up. Don't fucking open up. That's retarded. You're going to get stomped on. Your heart's going to get stomped on. So whatever you can keep to yourself, right, without exploding, might as well. Okay, just and if you're going to talk about it, be very careful with whom you talk about it. And even if you know somebody who would be sensitive, make sure that they're in the right mood to hear about it. Okay, you can't.
Dude,
you want people to not disappoint you.
You know, the irony is that you could probably have a better, well, not a better time, but you can probably fare better making, like a video about it. Let's say if you had people have channels about their pets on Instagram, let's say, and then the pet passes away, you make a video about the pet. Oh, the so and so passed away, and then, or even if you didn't have a channel, you just like, this is my first video and I had a cat and he passed away. There's more people out there who don't even know you personally, who would post, hearts in the comments and sad, sad face and the tear drops in the comments than people who know you, like complete strangers. It might be better to do that. Like if you Dafka want to share and you feel like you will explode, go on the internet, start an Instagram. Oh, my former cat, blah blah blah. Let's remember, remembrance page for cat, and then you'll have like a bazillion people posting for the cat, empathizing for the cat. And people, are, turds.
Yeah.
When it comes to this, they're turds. They may not be turds on other facets of life.
Yeah. So my advice to people is share as little as possible, and only do it when it's a last recourse. Like there's if you're really hurting bad and you really really need something, then just do your best to find the biggest non-douche you can find, and just be aware that even that may not work. It's dangerous to open up to people. Okay, sorry, this is Truth Fanatics. We're bound to tell you the truth here, folks. Okay.
Yeah.
You got to know who you can talk to about what. Okay.
Yeah.
So that being said, I wanted to use this opportunity, I guess, if that's what you want, if that's what it can be called, to talk about life. Like, what is, no, that's too abstract. What I really mean to say is, who are animals? Living creatures, right? What is it?
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is like the Torah knowledge that I learned, the Torah information that I've heard over the years. We've probably mentioned it several times, but you have living creatures, right? And then, you could say plant life is living, then you have animal life, right? Let's focus on animals for a moment. So there's different categories of animals. That's what I learned. You have the animals in the wilderness who will never see people, right? You have animals who only interact with other animals, right? They'll never see people. People will never see them, right? That's one category of animal. Then you have animals that kind of are in the periphery of human beings, right? Like, you'll like that deer that you see crossing the street, right? Or, in proximity to people, right? That's already a different category of animal. Okay. And then you have animals that live with human beings, right? Those are not the same animals. That's not the same consciousness that exists out in the wild or even in the periphery. And then you have animals who live with people in their homes, family members, right? And that is the category that I want to focus on for a moment, because those are most often, it's not an accident that those particular animals ended up with those particular people, or it's not an accident that those animals ended up living with people. Okay. Um, it's more than likely that those animals have human souls, or human souls that are imprisoned within this animal body. Okay, so we learn in non-Freudian Kabbalah. Sorry, I had to say that because that's something weird that Candace Owens said today. Like Freudian Kabbalah, like I don't even know what she's regular Torah Kabbalah.
We're not enlightened to understand what she's saying, Frank.
Yeah,
you know that?
That's fine. That's fine. I don't want to be that enlightened. But regular Torah Kabbalah, right? Kabbalah with a K. Okay, it tells us that there are souls who need to receive their rectification, and something that they did in the past life created a situation where they need to that their soul needs to spend some time in an animal. Okay, and a lot of times those souls who end up in animals end up in the homes of people, or living with people, or living near people, or having relationships with people. So those are not simple animals. So the animals that end up in our care are not simple animals, folks. Okay? They probably contain the consciousness of human beings who are seeking a rectification. Okay? So so it makes things, once you have this information, I'm not saying it helps to legitimize the emotional importance we put on the animals that live with us, right? That we tend to do, that sometimes people make fun of us for. Like, for instance, something that the vet, last week on Friday, when I took Phoebe to be examined by the vet who I asked to put her down. I said that the reason why I'm doing this is because she has no senses anymore. She can't hear and she can't smell. All she had was sight, and she would look for her kittens, right? And they would spend time together, and that would give her comfort. And the vet decided to tell me, don't do that. They're not, you're putting, that's like we're superimposing, stuff onto these animals. Like, she doesn't do that. Where I have a decade and a half of experience of seeing that she goes and she's always looking for her kittens and spending time with them, and that brings comfort to her, and they're always following her around, right? She's not feeding them anymore. She's not, they're not drinking her milk. It's not, they don't need her for anything specific, right? But they're always together. Okay, that's not an accident, because we have a bunch of cats and they don't all like each other, right? Okay, we have factions here. We have cat factions. Okay, and the cats that like each other, they spend time with each other. It's mostly Phoebe and her two little kittens, right? And an adopted kitten, because Phoebe had Balrog and she had Kraken, right? Her two kittens, and then later we had this other cat, this Siamese, who's like half feral, right? They adopted him. You know what I mean? When they're all cuddling together under the stairs, like they're all together all the time, right? And she walked around looking for them, and they always walked around looking for her, right? And they would always look for her, and they would kind of follow her around. So you can't tell me. I don't know why she needed to say that. Like, people are whatever. She's a materialist. Yeah. Okay. She's a serious scientist. She's a serious person, right? So she needs to ignore the obvious.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just strange. People are very strange, man.
Yeah. I didn't even ask her opinion, by the way. She had to volunteer that herself.
Yeah.
What was I supposed to say? Like, oh, you're right. Oh, now I feel much better. That this is just a walking automaton. It doesn't have thoughts or feelings. Therefore, I don't have to worry about its feelings.
Honestly, man,
And by the way, the Rambam tells us that he's not the only one, tells us explicitly that animals have feelings. They have love, they have fear, they have anxiety, and they flee from pain and anxiety. They flee from it.
yeah, of
Cows in slaughterhouses know what's happening.
course they do.
Okay. So
Listen, yeah,
anyway, so basically the point is that animals that we have,
yeah,
don't be ashamed for feeling the way that you do about them because they probably have human souls.
of course.
I can't tell you definitely because I'm not God. I'm just telling you what the Torah says.
I know my cat is a person. Straight up, he's a person. Dude, you mentioned there's animals who are in the wild and different consciousness from animals that are domesticated. It's funny because my cat, he's by all intents and purposes domesticated, but I think he spends 80% of his time outside. To the point where, and then he walks in places where it is kind of the wild. It's funny because if you look at him, he kind of looks like the way he moves, even. He looks like and he moves like, they just like literally took a tiger or some kind of a puma and they shrunk him.
Yeah, that's what a cat is.
No, but like him specifically. And even when he walks just like very slow, he looks like he's like like tigers walk around in circles in their cage kind of thing. Like that's how he walks. And when he's in the house. So it's funny because he's like domesticated, but he's kind of wild, but he's not really wild. It's almost like, you know who he is? Like a guy who's like, this is the closest analogy I can give you. It's a guy who decided, he's going to go write a book. Like, remember, I don't know if you noticed this, Matthew McConaughey talked about how he went to write a book, him and his wife. So he's like, I went to a secluded place, right? And then it was just totally rural place and just to like isolate myself so I could write this book. My cat is that guy. He just like, he's one of those guys, like he's like a computer programmer, right? Who's like kind of, domesticated and sophisticated and aware of everything around him. But at the same time, he needs to be outside or in rural, like outside, like trees and I don't know, other animals and other cats. There's like dogs, there's this, there's that, there's deer, there's it. But he's like a person who just like, yeah, he's got his house, he's got his food that's in his house. Like, I mean, I give him food. He asks, and he knows how to ask specifically for food versus specifically asking to go outside or specifically asking for something else. And he knows that I know his language, his his cues. But then the rest of the time, he's just like, he needs to be outside. And it's not only because of the bathroom. Like my parents are, oh, he needs to go to the bathroom. No, he just needs to be outside. He's an outside guy.
Yeah, but he comes home and he lives with you. It doesn't.
But he comes home. Yeah.
Nobody's saying that.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say, by the way, that even though there might be a human soul embedded in the body of an animal, trying to get some rectification, it's not like he's sitting there, wanting to drink a cup of coffee and smoke a cigarette and read the newspaper, right? It's like a human soul trapped inside of an animal, but not in control of the animal. Like, it's still the animal itself is still an animal. You understand? Like it has the animal soul, right? And the human soul is kind of like piggybacking there, and it does have influence on the animal, right? It's not to some extent. I don't know to what extent, but I'm not saying that he's sitting there, trying to, he wants to tune the station, and he's trying to find Elvis Costello. That's not what I'm really talking about. Okay. So animals, even if they have human souls contained within them because they need to get some kind of rectification, they're still going through the animal experience. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes.
But in a lot of ways, it's not that different from what humans experience with the godly soul.
Yeah.
Right? Because we talked about it last time. We have an animated soul, and then we have this godly soul, and the godly soul does not have its hands on the steering wheel. It's the animated soul, right? The godly soul is kind of like tethered to it, through some kind of like appendage, and it could could have like subtle influences on us,
Yeah.
right? It's not like that's for most human beings. So in a certain sense, the human soul that's getting a rectification
Yeah.
is may or may not have some, probably has much less influence on the
Yeah.
soul of this little animal
Yeah.
that it's kind of being paired with temporarily. Okay.
You know what's interesting, man? My cat, I sometimes he's very similar to me in what sense? When it comes to people he knows, meaning let's say myself, my parents, maybe my sister, he's very he like feels very comfortable. Maybe there's like neighbors who he knows fairly well. He doesn't
Yeah.
run away. He doesn't run away from them. And then there's okay. So after that comes like levels of people. So then there's like people who come around once in a blue moon. When he sees them, he literally like hides, right? Or if he's already outside and then they come to to my parents' house, he doesn't come home until they leave, right? He doesn't walk into the house until they leave, right? And then the next level is when you take him to the vet, it's just Gehenna. Like he's just going, he gets to the vet and then you need the lady has to use a towel to hold him down and he's just making all kinds of noise and he wants to scratch and claw or whatever. It's funny because like I, I'm people may not realize this, but I'm similar in the sense that like he's basically on hyperdrive. He's a hyperdrive version of what I am, which is like, you know, I could fully be myself around people I know.
Yeah.
When it's people I don't know, I'll be around them, but I'm not gonna full show kind of the full breadth of my personality. And that's my own problem. It's called being an introvert, or what we call it extrovert or introvert. I don't know what order it goes in, but and then there's just certain situations where I'm just completely not even maybe not even like a shell of anything. Like nothing, maybe not even anything at all. If that makes any sense. So instead of like, doing what my cat does at the vet, I just, you know, again, it's something I need to work on, I feel. Um, yeah. But I think it's just interesting how similar he is to me. Yes. This is who? This is
Squeaky. That's Squeaky.
Squeaky.
Squeaky's the only one who would. Well, she's one of the.
Why? Yeah. Why is Squeaky the only one that's like not scared of like the camera or anything like
She's the alpha kitty.
Oh, Alpha Kitty sounds like a techno producer.
Yeah, that's a good name. Yeah,
Alpha Kitty.
sounds like a good name for a band.
Alpha Kitty remix. Yeah.
Yeah, Alpha Kitty at the Birdland this evening.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Our friend Alpin messaged me. I'm going to a rooftop party on Sunday, and then I respond, "What's the party?" Response: I don't know, just random, I guess.
Okay.
Okay. Where? What's the music?
Alpin's the one who introduced me to progressive house and all the music we were talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know any of it without him. He's the one who bothered to explain it to me. I kind of miss him. Tell him.
He's good like that.
Yeah.
Frank says hi, and that he misses you. He says, "Oh, somewhere in the city, it's always house and techno." Okay, very cool. See what happens. I don't even know if I can go to this. It's the three. What's it called? The 3 weeks. I can't even go.
No, you can't.
Fun.
So, should I tell people?
Regarding? Oh, why I
The
can't go?
dream.
The what?
The dream.
Oh, hello. Yes.
I was wondering.
You must, Frank.
I
No,
must.
when I say you must, I don't mean it's coming from me. I mean it's coming from God.
I mean, no, I mean it's a question of whether or not it should be public. Maybe it's just for me and for like you, right? And also, here's this other issue. If I were to hear from another person what I'm about to say, I wouldn't believe them.
Really? Why not?
Maybe, you know what? Okay, maybe
I would.
I'll say it like this. I'll tell you about something which I feel is real. I feel strongly about it personally, but I hold nobody listening to this no pressure to believe me. You know why? Because I wouldn't believe you if you told me what I'm about to tell you.
So can I ask why you wouldn't believe them?
Because I just don't believe people. That's why.
Okay. Yeah, but something like that is very specific. Like, why would people just like? I don't know.
I don't know. I
why
think
would a
people,
person just make something that like that
no,
up?
there because people want to be special.
Okay.
People want to stand out. People want to say, "Look what happened to me. I'm special."
Okay. What if
Like
they're just bringing? What if they're just here to bring a message? You know, like Rabbi Anava has a whole story about his near-death experience. He's trying to wake
I
people
don't
up
believe
and this
Rabbi.
and that.
I don't believe Rabbi Anava.
What, that whole 3-hour story that he sits and tells in detail?
I don't, it's I can't get myself to believe that. I'm not saying it's not true.
Okay.
I'm just saying
Okay.
it's like
I mean, he mentions that he even saw his wife in this thing,
I know
who his wife was
it's
going to be, and this and that.
I know it's an
And then he met his
amazing.
wife, and he was just like, "Holy crap, this is you." Wish I had that. No,
Listen,
not the near-death experience, but
listen,
whatever.
there's no way to confirm it, right?
Okay.
So it's just, there's a lot of people who've told wild stories,
I understand.
who've told great stories that are very
Yeah.
convincing, who are right, and they ended up
Okay.
being charlatans.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about Anava that he's one of them. I'm just saying that there have been too many charlatans
Yeah.
who have been too convincing
Yeah.
for me to risk believing anyone.
But I'm talking about like meaning people like us. We're not public. Let's just assume for a second we're not public figures. It's like a friend telling a friend. So if you had a friend tell that story, you wouldn't believe him?
Depends. I'd have to know. I like. I'm extremely.
That's what I'm referring to. I'm not referring to some Joe Schmo on the street.
No, but this
Or
is
some
a
guy in
podcast, right?
or some guy in 770.
Even when I told you the story,
Yeah.
I had to tell myself first. I have to accept that a lot of people would kind of like wave their hand on me or dismiss or not believe me, and which is okay because I probably would not believe.
My first reaction was not in terms of to believe you or not believe you. It's meaning a person comes to me, they say they have a dream. Assuming they remember, most people remember the dream they had, this morning, and that's powerful. Because I have my own, meaning I have my own dreams, not like that, but like I have my own dreams that are whatever.
Let me tell people about it.
Yeah.
And I'm just prefacing it that I don't blame you for rejecting this. I don't. Here's the thing. I don't need anybody to believe this either.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you about something personal.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm not bringing anybody any information about a possible bridge collapse, God forbid, or some kind of like, or listen to me, I'm a prophet or something like that. I just feel that I had a dream, or that I was. Let me stop describing it, and I'll just tell you what it was. First off, before I even start, can you find a clip, please, sir, Mr. Producer? Can you find a clip from the movie Bachelor Party with Tom Hanks?
Okay, and what's the clip?
Just some party clip. The whole movie's a party.
Yeah.
Right? Just find anything that has like a party scene.
Indian pimp crashes your bachelor party.
Anything like that. Yeah.
I need to see this movie, by the way. I never saw this movie. My parents saw it.
I'm looking for this dung-head who took my women. He's being liar to me. I want my bitches back. Holy shit.
Yeah. Okay. Play some more scenes, like just some party scenes. Like
hotel manager.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
yeah, like that.
Just where do you guys think you are?
The Library of Congress?
Detroit? Beyond the sun?
Any of those right?
This is the Parkview Hotel. I am the hotel manager. This is a respectable establishment. We don't go for any funny business here.
Now, quite right. So I see.
Okay, so this kind of movie, right? Mixed with like Revenge of the Nerds. Okay, and the movie Frantic. Would you mind playing a scene from the movie Frantic? Maybe the dance scene.
I've never seen this movie in
So
my
the movie
life.
Frantic is where Harrison Ford plays this
Roman
doctor.
Polanski?
Yeah, it's a Roman Polanski movie. It's a thriller, right? 80s style.
Never seen this movie. in my life.
His wife is kidnapped, and he's frantically looking for his wife. Part of looking for his wife is somehow this young French girl gets wrapped up in this whole thing, and you start looking for his wife together with her, and it's really trippy.
Yeah.
Like there's gonna be a dance. Yeah, he's gonna dance with her.
Let's see.
Monsieur? I want to know whether you'll take this car. Of course. American Express. Do me a favor. Go and see. No problem. I assure you. I insist.
And so it goes. Can you imagine how much I love you? I can't stand this music. More I see you. As years go by, I know the only one for me can only be you.
Hi, Vital.
My arms won't
Dr. Mitlovnik, Cairo Cardiology Convention 1981. You remember?
Oh, yes. How are you? Nice to see you.
This is him. This is Dr. Richard Walker. We were all waiting for your lecture today. Let me introduce you. Dr. Alula, Dr. Bouzy, Professor Sherif from the Clinique des Oliviers, best surgeon in Tunisia.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
What happened? Did you have some problem or did you have too much champagne like us?
dance.
Yes.
I see.
Watch this scene, Greg. Watch the scene. That's Roman Polanski's wife, by the way.
Yeah, yeah.
Young woman. Still to this day.
Yeah.
She still looks great. This is 1984.
Yeah. 88, not 84.
Actually, this is 88.
Yeah.
This is like a Middle Eastern club in Paris.
Yeah.
And this is who's playing? Who's singing this? Grace Jones. The song is called Libertango.
What is this?
This is Grace Jones singing
Yeah.
the song called Libertango, I think.
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah.
I've seen that face before. See him hanging round my door like a hawk, stealing for the prey, like a night, waiting for the day. Strange, he shadows me back home. Footsteps echo on the stone. Rainy nights on Hoffman Boulevard. Parisian music drifting from the bar. Tu cherches quoi? Rencontrer la mort. Tu te prends pour qui? Toi aussi, tu détestes la vie.
He's so uncomfortable, you know?
He's what?
He's so uncomfortable.
On what? Uncoachable?
Uncomfortable.
Oh, uncomfortable. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
It reminds me of like a Russian restaurant kind of scene.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's like it's a Persian club, in the or an Arab club in the city, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, so why am I showing you these movies? I'm not going to show you like every movie, but this is what my dream was like.
Yeah.
It was a mix of like goofball comedy, 80s style, but also like there was like a tension.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying there were scenes in the dream that were like this movie, but there was a similar tension to it.
Yeah.
Right. It was a thriller. It wasn't a horror movie.
No.
But it was like this tense, this like 80s tension. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this,
Yeah.
like a Roman Polanski, almost Brian De Palma situation going on too.
Yeah.
Not Scarface, but more like other kind of Brian De Palma movies. Okay. So I can't really explain it. So it was a very odd dream, very, very odd. Now, at the end of the dream, one of the goofy characters in that like bachelor party movie or like Revenge of the Nerds, right? There was also like a beach party kind of vibe too going on, right? At some point we ended up on the beach. It was close to sunset. And then at the end of the dream, everybody disappeared except for one of the characters. And it was like the least important character. It was like a character who was almost like an accessory, almost like a mascot. Like I don't think he said anything in the dream. He was just this goofy looking kind of like almost hunchback, sort of like strictly there as like background scenery, like, oh, it's just this, to give you the sense, oh, there's goofy stuff going around. I don't know how best to explain it. Okay. So all of a sudden, we're walking on the beach, and then we're kind of like crossing this like concrete little bridge. It's like right on the beach, and underneath the bridge, it's like taking in water from the ocean or something like that. I don't know what you call that. Like it's hard to explain. It's like a little pier, perhaps. It's made of concrete, and then he gets to the edge, and I'm looking, and he just falls into the water, just falls right into the water. And all of a sudden, he ignites. That's the best way I can say it. He like illuminates. And he takes the form of what the best way I could describe it is like things that I've seen, like in movies, fantasy movies, cartoons, like some kind of like, well, he communicated that he was a water spirit. That's what I thought in my head. Oh, this is a water spirit. And it was a feminine water spirit. It wasn't a he at all. And it had, I don't recall its face. It had a beautiful face. And it had like fiery red hair, like flowing. It was beautiful, very beautiful. And it had this like dress that I interpreted as a dress, because its face was kind of visible, but its body was like a flowing kind of thing, right? And it wasn't just like light beams. It was light, but the light was taking the form of a beautiful flowing gown with lots of flowy things. I don't know how that's how I pictured it. And it was very, very beautiful and very bright. And I was also scared of it. It wasn't just like beauty. It was there was a level, I felt there was a level of danger as well. And it said to me the strangest thing. Here's the important part. It said to me, and this is a dream I had on Sunday. It said to me, of course you realize that the word spirit comes from sphirot. That was like the coherent message that it sent to me. And I woke up immediately, and my thought was, How is that not obvious to me my whole life?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking when I woke up. I was
And
like,
then,
of course. And it felt so profound. It was
Yeah.
like a little mini Torah lesson. And my favorite kind too, where
Yeah.
you make connections from the Torah to like the
words.
world. Of course, spirit comes from spirit.
Speaking of
It's the
language, that
same
means
consonants.
speaking of language, that means something.
Yes.
Speaking of words that mean things.
Yeah. And then because by the way, Sphirot was also an extremely frustrating concept because it's people try to explain it to you. It's like it's these things, these attributes.
Yeah, speaking of modality.
What is an attribute?
Exactly.
Look at this butte. You're a butte.
Look at this blank and
Attribute.
I'll
give you an attribute.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, folks, you know what's crazier? Frank then called me and told me about this.
Yeah.
And then I looked it up. If there's anything on the internet.
I need to get the charger for the computer. Continue.
You're making this anticlimactic, Frank. But I want to see I want Frank to be here for this.
I can hear you.
I'm not going to continue.
I need to get the charger.
I know, but this is like a group conversation.
All right.
Because I want you to add to this. I don't want to just say it and then like nobody's here.
I can hear you.
The whole point of a crescendo is that there's a person there to hear the crescendo. Not a guy telling him about a crescendo. Not a guy telling himself about a crescendo.
The folks at home.
Eh.
Okay, I'm coming back. Folks, I guess I'm the only one who cares about the folks at home. Greg doesn't. Give her
I care about crescendos. That's why I care about the folks at home, because if there's no crescendo, those folks at home won't get anything out of this.
Yeah.
The crescendo is, I looked this up to see if there's anything on the internet about this. And lo and behold, who wrote something about this? A gentleman by the name of Robert M. Haralick.
Yeah.
The person responsible for uncovering the Torah codes. He's a mathematician in City College in New York. And he wrote, let me find the page where he wrote this. If I can find it. Here we go. 1 second. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, 1 second. There is one place. Okay. No. My goodness gracious. Oh, why is it not here? Okay. Here we go. The Sefirot. There. He wrote a book. The PDF form. The title of the book is called God Consciousness, Living with Meaning and Purpose. Then I go to this page over here, and he writes, this is the only place I found this, by the way. There are 10 Sefirot, and they are the means by which we understand how being, with a capital B, is expressed. Expression means to press out. Expression of being develops through 10 stages. So now he writes, Keter, Chochmah, all the Sefirot. These are the 10 Sefirot. As everything in the universe is an expression of God's being, everything has the internal structure of the 10 Sefirot. It is not by chance that the word Sefirot is related to the English word spirit. And then he spells it out, you see? S, Samach, P, Pe or Fe, I, Yud, R, Resh, and then I, but like it's a Vav with a dot over it, which is O, and then Tav. The singular is Sphira. It means counting or numeration. It is related to the words like Sefer, which means book, Sfar, which means border, frontier, or border district, Sipur, which means story, tale or narrative, Sphera, which means sphere, and Sapir, which means sapphire. The Zohar calls Sefirot crowns. And he goes into this whole thing. Rabbi Kaplan explains, Arya Kaplan talks about the Ein Sof, all these Kabbalistic concepts. This is the only place the only person I've seen relate Sefirot to
the word spirit.
To spirit.
Yeah. So again, folks, just for those who may not be following,
yeah,
the main point is that the word Sefirot, right? You can hear the S F P sound, right? You have, which is, the F and P, in terms of like where you make that sound on your, right? It's a similar consonant, right? It's they're interchangeable in a lot of languages, right? As the P and the F, right? Sphirot or spirit, right? Okay, so you can hear. So then you have the R sound and then the T sound, right? Those are consonants. So the English word spirit and the Hebrew word sphirot have identical consonants. Okay, so and to me, that's important because believe that this whole idea of Edenics, right? There's a guy named Moseson, I think, who's talking about Edenics, where the first language was biblical Hebrew, right? Which he calls Edenics.
Interesting.
And he has a theory that all languages that exist on Earth are derivative, are just really dialects of Hebrew.
Yeah.
For instance, for us, it's easiest to talk about English. Like if you go on his website, you could see all this. We did an episode about it early on.
Yeah. Ancienthebrew.org website.
So
yeah.
I don't
Isaac Moseson.
Moses, right.
Yeah.
So he, for instance, the word lad.
Yeah.
Right? In English, lad.
Yeah.
Usually young boy, right?
Yeah.
Which to him is obvious, and also to me feels obvious that it comes from Yeled.
Yeah.
Which means young boy in Hebrew, right?
Yeah.
And he shows how literally every language has that.
Yeah.
So when I hear languages, when I hear words, especially important words that affect me, right? I make a note of that, and that's kind of like I'm not saying it's a hobby, but it's kind of something that I notice and I pick up on, and I collect things like that.
Yeah.
Now, spirit, the connection between spirit and sphirot, I had never heard that before, ever. I never made that connection. Trust me, if I would have known about that, I would have not forgotten about it. My point is, in this dream is the first time I heard of this connection. Right? Even if you don't consider this important information for you, but it's important information for me, right? And you can't deny the similarity between the words spirit and sphirot, right? In terms of their consonants and the order of the consonants. You can't deny that. That's undeniable. So you're not going to deny that, okay?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of language, science or study or the study of languages, right? Which does that. It does comparative words, right? It compares words from related to various languages in terms of consonants, and it notices like different vowelization, but like Latin languages, for instance, right? or languages that are derived from Germanic, right? You can kind of hear connections between languages based on words that have the same consonants in the same order. So you're not going to deny that. That's a fact. So I had never heard this piece of information before. I didn't read it in any book. I didn't read it, and I didn't see it in a video. Now I would have that if I had heard that piece of information before, I would have been using it in all the situations in which I talk about sphirot and spirit, and the endless conversations I had about it, or even in situations where I'm supposed to teach concepts to people. I've been in situations where I have to teach Torah concepts to people, and I would have used that piece of information because for me, it's very profound.
Yeah.
Okay. My point is, so here's the primary point. Here's what it boils down to. Something communicated to me in a dream, information that I had never heard before. It wasn't buried. It wasn't something I heard before and forgot. Brand new information communicated to me through a dream that does not come from me. So something external to me got into my dream and was able to communicate something which is very profound, actually. Very profound. I don't have time in this episode to explain to you why it's so profound, but it's very novel and it was new. So I got a little Torah lesson in my dream, something brand new that I've never heard before.
And that's why, Frank, you had to. That's a miracle, and that means you have to publicize the miracle. That's miraculous.
Yeah. It also teaches me that whatever contacted me was not bad.
No.
Even though it scared me a little bit in the dream,
yeah.
Right? I'm not getting wrapped up in
what is
imagery that was used to communicate.
What does Bartonic say? Whatever looks like malevolent is not, and whatever looks all fuzzy and warm and nice is could be malevolent.
Yeah, it was neither. It was something beautiful, but also a little scary.
That's what I'm saying. It's a little scary, so that's how you know. It's almost like it's a little scary. That's how you know it's serious.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's it's not here to I don't know, blow smoke up your butt. It's here to just give you information.
No, I felt it was a little.
It was a little blowing smoke up your butt.
No, none of that. It was.
It's not. Yeah.
Right. It was very beautiful, and
yeah,
and also it was, and this is like the Sunday following the Friday that I had to put Phoebe to sleep.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder, was it her?
Maybe it was Hashem telling you,
It's always everything is Hashem.
No, what I mean is it's you're being sent the message that the soul is, or the spirit of something or someone doesn't doesn't die. The physical,
Yeah, I knew that already, but this is like, in terms of my conscious memory, the only actual really supernatural experience that I've had.
Yeah.
That I know wasn't self-generated.
Yeah.
That's why I don't trust people when they tell me stories about experiences they had, because it kind of it could always feel self-generated. I'm only interested in the stories.
Yeah.
And I still don't believe them, to be honest.
Well, by the way, on Nava,
yeah,
like, to his credit, part of his story was that he said that he was still secular after this whole thing happened, and then he came to Rabbi, whatever this, actually the rabbi that told me, don't say joke, women don't like joke, the same rabbi, but he's in the Kabbalah. It's this Yemenite rabbi, and he told him the story, and the rabbi's like, everything you describe is in Zohar. And this guy didn't know anything. This guy did not know anything, Anava, at that time. He was like a Torah, nothing, absolutely nothing. Came from a completely secular background. He was anti this and anti that. And in fact, he said that in this experience, it wasn't a dream. It was like a NDE, what we call the realm that he went to. One of the stipulations was if he was going to get, be sent back here to continue his life, one of the things was that he had to, well, first of all, he had to become religious. He had to start keeping mitzvot. The second thing was that he had to tell the story of whatever he saw. He had to publicize whatever he saw. So he says for 2 or 3 months, he didn't want to, because for the same reason he thought people would think he's crazy. And then you're muted, Frank. No, just let me finish. So
I'm just gonna say that I don't care if people think I'm crazy.
I know that. I'm just saying that's he the reason he hesitated. He didn't think anything would come of it. And then he spoke to the rabbi, and then he's like, The rabbi said, "Are you crazy?" And then he says, "Oh man, he does think I'm crazy." And but he's like, "No, are you crazy? Because that thing told you to say. Are you crazy? Meaning, are you? If you don't say, some bad shit's gonna happen to you. If you don't tell the story. So why did you wait
Okay,
this
but
long to tell the story? Whatever.
well, I wasn't told to tell people.
I know you weren't. I'm just saying he
Yeah.
was. He
Right.
was because
Okay,
wherever
look,
wherever he went
again,
was very dark. Whatever.
again,
Yeah.
I am a skeptical person, and I think it's like my ego,
Yeah.
right? I'd rather say I don't believe and then not be, and then that way, if it is fake, I could always say, haha, see, I wasn't tricked.
Yeah.
That's what I'm like. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying that's
Yeah.
what I'm like.
Yeah.
So that's why when I'm telling this story, I know there's a whole bunch of other people out there that were just like me, right? And I'm saying, you don't believe me? It's okay. I would I would feel the same way in your shoes. And
Frank, you know who it, yeah.
I don't want to focus on that part.
No, I
Like,
know. I would just wanted to say, like, you know who I tend not to, or not believe, but who I tend not to, who I tend to be skeptical of, or skeptical when they talk. The people who try to say X, Y, and Z, or say X, Y, and Z, and then they try to apply it, meaning they try to make it universal and they try to make it linear, meaning rabbis or teachers who come and say this and this and this and this, I experienced this and this and this, and therefore if you do this, you will, reap the benefits of whatever, do this mitzvah or do it like this or do something for a certain amount of time, and you will, whatever, fill in the blank, meet your wife, get parnasa. The linear stuff, the linear stuff that doesn't check out for every single human being on, planet Earth, except for the guy that's saying it, and maybe a couple of other people who are designated by Hashem for them to work out for them, and then everybody else it doesn't. Okay, because they have their own tikkunim and their own lane and their own story and their own whatever Hashem, the track Hashem put them on.
Yeah.
That's who I'm like, yo. Not that I don't believe him. I'm just like, slow your roll. If a guy's telling me his personal thing and it's personal to him, whatever it is, okay. I mean, like,
Yeah. So there's a little bit more to it for me personally, and this is very personal, is that I always heard about people having
these kind of things,
spiritual experiences, right?
Yeah.
Something other than themselves, right?
Yeah.
And I felt like I believe that they're real and I believe that they're possible, but I'm never the one, like, I love talking about UFOs. I've never seen one. Almost everybody else has.
I've never
Even
seen
people who care much less about it
I know.
that I know, right?
Yeah.
People very close to me, okay, who've seen things, couldn't care less about it, and I wanted to never get a chance.
Yeah, it's like this guy I know who grew up Hasidish in Muncie. Yeah, I see them all the time in the sky, and I saw them, and I had a close experience with it, and it came up to me, and this, and and I'm like, blank you, bro. Yeah, big deal. It is okay. I see them all the time, and what?
Yeah.
Excuse me, bro.
Like, what? You know what I mean? Like, and I
never saw them all the time in the sky.
And I use this metaphor because I remember feeling like this as a kid. Maybe some of you can relate to this too. If you were the younger child, right? And my brother is 8 years older, right? And my parents, and I remember like them taking me to bed when I didn't want to go to bed.
Yeah.
And I knew that my brother could stay up with my parents, and I was positive that they were having a pizza party and ice cream, Carvel, without me. And and not only that, they waited for me to go to bed so I wouldn't get any.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have this like paranoia which applies to everything. It always seems like everybody is like having a better time. Everybody gets to see the cool thing or the experience, and I'm like the one that everybody's waiting for. All right, let's wait till Frank leaves, and then we take out and get the Carvel out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't want to share Carvel with Frank.
Yeah.
So
It's a soft
you know, after so this is like something that I have internally. I'm not defending it. I'm just saying it is what it is. That's what it's there. Okay. And so I felt like that with spiritual experiences too, because people tell me about all this hashgacha protest. You know who pisses me off more with hashgacha protest than anybody? Maximov. He gets hashgacha protest like insane. Like insane.
I got a
And I'm
lot of
like,
it in Israel.
I can't anything ever like this happen to me ever.
You.
The most I get from God
it.
is weird 33s from time to time.
Yeah, you get no, but listen. I've gotten a lot of it. I've spoken about this before. A lot of it in Israel, and a lot of it in Crown Heights. That's why I wanted to live in Crown Heights because I didn't see God anywhere else.
So anyway, because I felt like it wasn't happening, it made me feel like, is there something about me that's worse than everybody else? Am I like too, spiritually messed up to be even? I'm just hold on a second. To be even like eligible for a spiritual experience, like, am I so gross that angels will be like, that guy? No. You know what I mean? Like God's telling them, okay, go talk to Frank. No, he stinks. No. You know what I mean? I don't know. Like you got to start wondering. You start wondering, like, why, like why it's kind of like you with dating. Like you're wondering,
like what's going on. Yeah.
You start to think,
well,
what's
with
going
me
on?
with dating, it's like I've seen it's even worse because I've seen Hashgacha Pratis in every single other facet of my life, like category of my life, including even my business where
That's not the aspect I'm talking about. I'm just focusing
know,
on the thought.
I know. I'm just saying it's
in your case, the ridiculous thought, in my opinion, that there might be something about you, right? Like you start to wonder, right? So
I don't know if anything about me. I think I think it's something. Whatever.
My point is that anybody who is in a similar situation, right?
Yeah.
They sometimes can't help but wonder: is there something about me?
Yeah.
You've said that to me, even like in business dealings, right? Like, why do people talk to me this way? Is there something about me that attracts something, right?
Yeah.
And you start to wonder, because people, when bad things happen, people often wonder if are they to blame?
Multiple times, not just once.
Yeah. So this is that's how I felt about this kind of thing, where I was like, everybody else seems to be, getting a visit.
Yeah.
Of some kind.
Get it.
Right. And even though I'm a skeptical person in the first place, and I tend not to believe people when they tell me that, but part of me does believe them too. It's possible. And if that's the case, then how come nothing ever happened? Nothing, you know what I mean? It's not, I'm not looking for entertainment, but just like, just like I'm here too. I'm not chopped liver, right?
Yeah.
This is just thoughts that go through my head.
Well,
so I was wondering, have I watched too much porn in the past?
Well, do but
you start to wonder, like, am I like? And
dude, can I ask you a question?
After this experience, which to me is 100, I'm 100% sure that this was an external. This is a visit from an external spiritual entity that not only just that alone would have been cool, but the fact that it gave me a Torah lesson that thrilled me, literally thrilled me. And I woke up saying, how did I not put that together?
Yeah.
I woke up saying those words. How was that not obvious to me this entire nearly 30 years of me thinking about Torah? Right? It's right under my nose.
You want to know what the message is, I think also it's not only that. I think it's the message is Hashgacha Pratis events, divine providence events are also in front of your nose. In front of all of our noses, we just have to recalibrate our some way, somehow. I mean, it's a muscle you train, really, to be able to see it. Meaning, I wanted to ask you, don't you think, I mean, and as unpleasant as the experience maybe was, don't you think it's total Hashgacha Pratis, the fact that you hold on.
I wish Greg wouldn't get so stressed out with his parents.
It's just no, it's just like I could be sitting here for like 24 hours, nobody talks to me, and just you know, 2 hours that I need, you know,
Yeah.
type of whatever.
Well, we'll wrap it up soon. So
Dude, sorry, just just give me a second.
yeah.
Anyway, I was gonna ask you, don't you think it's Hashgacha protest that you got involved in one of the biggest events in human history, for better or worse?
Look, I had some, peripheral role to play, right? It's the Shgacha protest. I happen to be born to be the brother of this great person, right? And I had an opportunity to assist him in his great task, right? So yeah, no, I do recognize that, right? I do recognize that. Uh, so I'm not saying I don't know, dude. I don't think about it like that much. I think about it more as I was. I don't think about it so much because it really doesn't feel like God gave me a lot of power to do things since my brother went to the next world. Like my ability to communicate to people is completely blocked, right? The message is in my view, the most important message in the world, but God doesn't seem to be like putting me in a position to really get it out there. He's letting me talk to like individuals here and there, which are important. And so that's why, in terms of like importance, I don't feel anywhere near as important as my brother in terms of influencing the world.
Frank, can I tell you something? I'll just tell you, and I said this before, and I'm not saying it to be cute. I'm not even saying to be funny or to give you what's called like hizuk encouragement or whatever. I literally think that at the very least I don't know about myself, maybe me also with other things. We are literally Randy Quaid sitting in the trailer. That's literally who we are. And we're going to
before flying into the
we're not going to fly into the whatever. I'm just saying until the moment comes where we do have to do something, not fly
it may or
into
may not come. That's what I'm saying. I'm not I don't feel like it's guaranteed that we're going to be sent to fly the jet into, on that suicide mission into
you're not going to fly the jet on the suicide mission. What you will be is probably you're going to have to speak about some stuff to a lot of people.
I speak about it. We speak.
No, I mean you're going to have to speak to a lot of people simultaneously about some stuff.
I'd rather fly into a okay.
Listen again. We spoke when they found. Listen,
I like your metaphor, but my metaphor is better. Like wait, start the reactor. I want to I want to like press the button to save Mars, get my ass to Mars, and save it with that one big button press after fighting Cohagen. Okay, because Quaid told me to go, and you know where I'm going with this. So anyway, that may or may not happen. I'm not sitting here waiting for that to happen, expecting it because of course.
Yeah.
I'm Douglas Hauser, secret agent, who I'm the one who has to go press the button to release the air to give Mars an atmosphere to save the whole planet or whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
It'll happen if God so chooses, but he may not. I mean, that's the thing. God is the one who ultimately decides. You can't sit around waiting, expecting it to happen. You know what I mean?
Can I show the folks at home the scene that I'm talking about?
Yeah, show me the scene.
There's a couple of scenes.
That's not the point of what
I know.
I feel it's not the point. What I'm saying is that dream showed me that I too do have the potential to have experiences which are not strictly mundane, that I can have contact, that I'm not too messed up, where having a spiritual experience, a real one, is precluded. That's all I'm saying, and that's interesting to me. I wasn't sure before that. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
You know?
I just wanted to tell you that, meaning like from what I've seen, it's precisely the most quote unquote messed up people who have the most, these kind of experiences. So when you say, maybe I watched this, maybe I did this, maybe I did that,
You got to wonder, like, because why doesn't a segula work? We talked about this, right?
yeah, yeah,
Oh well, because
yeah,
whatever. There's always some reason.
yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So and I'm not dismissing that. I was wondering what is, it could be things, that about myself that have blocked that kind of experience. I was wondering, when you don't know exactly what to do, you don't know if you could ever get out of it. Right. So when I had a true spiritual experience, in my view, confirmed to me personally that this was not coming from my own imagination.
Yeah.
Right. And so I was like, oh, wow, that's interesting. That is interesting, because now I know that's proof of concept. Now I know that I'm not, there's whatever I did in my past, it's not bad enough to actually.
I think it's a question of bad enough or good enough or block or this.
I'm just saying that. Why give me a hard time? I'm just trying to.
No, I'm not giving you a hard time. I just think people are hard too. I think you're giving yourself a hard time.
I'm not giving myself a hard time. I'm actually saying that before I didn't know, now I know that no, I'm not that bad.
That's what I'm saying. You wouldn't. I don't think you were ever bad.
Yeah, but I didn't know. It's nice of you to say that.
But you didn't know.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like to have a spiritual experience, you have, there has to be some level of spiritual cleanliness, some level. You know what I mean? Like there has to be.
Yeah, there is.
You have, like, for instance, to be spiritually attuned. Bart Sadak not the only one, but he talks about it. He's like, he's speaking to Jews and non-Jews, right? He recommends eating kosher food for non-Jews.
Yeah.
Not because they're mandated to, like Jews are, but because it helps a person become spiritually clean.
Yeah.
Right? It helps you to be more attuned.
Yeah.
To receive, to connect to the spiritual world.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
So and there's things that can muck it up. Right? It's not like
it's true. It's true.
Okay, so that's all I'm talking about. I wasn't sure
Yeah.
how mucked up I was.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I was too mucked up. You know what I mean? So now I know I'm technically not so mucked up as to prevent me from ever having it.
Listen, I mean, from what I've seen, and I'm just telling the folks at home, when I come to Frank's house and I see, like, sometimes you come to people's houses and you see like a bunch of what I like to call leather-bound books and rich mahogany, like the what's it called? What's that movie? Oh my God. No, Anchorman, Ron Burgundy effect, But in the case of Frank, I mean, I know for a fact that he's read most of those books that are in his shelf.
I've read some of them.
So no, listen, I like to think that what I was going to tell you was, even if you have whatever you think you have as like something that happened or something you did.
I had a Porky's childhood.
What I'm trying to tell you is that there's Hashem counts the book, the Torah that you learned.
Okay.
He counts that. And not only he counts it, it overrides Avenue U McDonald's.
It makes me wonder how many years do I have to have between me and my Porky's past?
There's no way to know. There's no way to know, man.
That's what I'm saying.
But all I'm saying is focus on the freaking, the bevy of stuff that that's, by the way, way more than I know.
I would have done it.
Way more than that.
I would continue to do what I'm doing, regardless of whether or not I would ever spiritual, because I know I know God's real and all that kind of stuff. But I never knew that I could actually have a little chat with something that isn't me.
Yeah.
Like
Frank, can I show the folks at home who you are on Twitter? but I mean it's like funny, but it's like kind of dark funny. This is
Oh,
Frank
boy.
on Twitter.
I was kidnapped by space aliens 10 years ago. They did all kinds of experiments on me. They've been studying us for years, finding out our weaknesses. We've got to stop them. They're going to kill us all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
not
but
trying to
that's also
I'm
me,
not
by
trying
the
to
way.
present myself that way, but
Yeah.
it's nice to know that
And,
people
and
look
then
at me
and then this is Frank and me talking about Dr. Fauci.
I've been saying it. I've been saying it for 10 damn years. Ain't I been saying it, Miguel? Huh? I've been saying it.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, there's also the way you say it.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to like
Yeah.
look, you know.
Yeah.
You know, there's this scene. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to get into that. Before we have like a few, maybe like 10 minutes left.
Yeah, because I got to wrap up because it's just getting.
Can we play?
Sorry.
Can we play that thing that segment of the conversation between the most Jordan Peterson and Gary Nolan?
Oh yeah! Wow.
What?
Yeah.
That was the kind of the slightly hopeful thing that I saw today.
Yeah.
Because you know, aside from civil war and horrible things going on in Syria with the Druze and you know all this like health stuff and everything, this is a crossover I didn't expect.
Yeah. This is which there's something non-human. Okay. Yeah. This is like by the way, the clip is 33 minutes and 33 seconds, which is also kind of crazy. There you go.
What the hell you think is going on? And what this has done to you too. This has got to kind of come out of left field, so to speak, in a severe way. And so I imagine it's put a bit of a bump into your life. I mean, maybe one that's mostly interesting, but still, you know, it's to call it strange is to barely scrape the surface. So what do you make of this?
That there's something non-human here, and it's been here for a long time, is my provisional conclusion. And, you know, the question is not, that people should ask is not, is there something here? You have to ask the question first, can there something be here? And the short answer is, of course there can, because the universe is 14 billion years old. You could have gotten from one side of the galaxy to the other in our galaxy in Elon Musk's Tesla if it were traveling at 10,000 miles an hour, right? But what got on in the first place doesn't mean the same thing as what gets off on the other side. So, yes, the short answer is something can be here. What it is, I'm not 100% sure, and I feel very uncomfortable with the sightings of biological beings, if only because they just look a little too much like us, and I just can't see from a genetics point of view why the human form is so, or even, you know, 2 legs and 2 arms is necessarily biologically the most, successful shape. So I think there's something here. I think the data, the evidence of the hypothesis, there's more than enough evidence to say that it's worth investigating. So I would ask my colleagues to just hold their sarcasm for a while, because how do you deny thousands of reports like this? I don't want to sound conspiratorial, but I mean, I did get a phone call from somebody representing the White House because I was talking about something that they felt was a little too on the edge. They said, "You need to just shut up, Gary." I mean, I'm just telling you. I mean, I've briefed Canadian Parliament. I went to your Parliament in Toronto and I briefed all 3 parties on it. The only ones who didn't want to hear anything were the separatists. So interestingly, but no, I spent 2 days there on that. And we've briefed the European Parliament as well on it. And they're aware of what some of their own military are talking about. So that I conclude that there's definitely something here. But I think the more interesting conclusion is if something is here, it's likely been here longer than humans have even been civilized. So it really opens the question, and actually it's something that I think Charles Fort actually said, is, Earth is probably somebody else's property.
That's where you get into the whole Gnostic fruitcake stuff,
Excuse me?
My problem with all these guys is that, how should I put this? I don't know what he thinks about what these entities are, what a guy like Gary Nolan thinks, or anybody else who works in that field. But I feel, I feel like it's kind of like what Elon Musk does, it's kind of like there's no Mashiach in the picture, there's no Hashem in the picture, there's no Torah in the picture, there's these entities, and they're here, they've been here before us, and we are gonna, it's like the Club of Rome, we're meant to just disappear because we're a nuisance to them on this planet, and we're destroying the planet, and they're blah 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 blah.
Okay,
blah, blah,
people
blah,
do say that. It's not
Yeah.
what he said.
I know, but it's like,
It's not what he said.
okay,
Basically all he said was, I've seen enough data, and we should probably explain to people who this guy was. It's the Professor Gary Nolan. He's a geneticist from Stanford, and he has patents on testing machinery, where you bring him something and he can like analyze it on the molecular level to tell you what it consists of, what's found, like very rigorous genetic testing, DNA testing, even materials testing, stuff like that. And he's a well-known academic who's been involved in UAP investigations for many, many years, because government agents who study this officially for the government would come and bring him material. And so all he's saying is that there's enough data for him to be satisfied that it's real, it exists, and it seems to have been there before humans. That's all he said. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm not saying I like this guy. I don't like this. Actually, I tend not to like him personally, right? I don't like some of the statements that he's made, not related to this topic. Like, I don't like his views on politics and other crap, whatever. Okay. But and yes, he hangs out with Gnostic fruitcakes or people who dabble in Gnostic fruitcakery, whatever. But these are people who are just trying to get a handle on what they're seeing. They're seeing some kind of phenomenon, and they're trying to get a handle on it mentally. And so what do they have? They have Gnostic fruitcake stuff. They have New Age stuff. They have like Gnostic, Hermeticism and all that kind of crap. You know what I mean? Rosicrucianism and all this kind of stuff. Well, they don't have Torah. They don't have Torah. They don't even know that Torah, why, even if they were aware of the existence of Torah, they wouldn't know why they should look to Torah as the framework to understand the phenomena that they're seeing, right?
Yeah.
So we have that, right? Whether or not we could ever get these people to see it our way, doubtful. I think that the phenomenon will present itself, before we can ever convince anybody that that we to look through it through the Torah framework, through Torah colored glasses. Okay, because actually Torah isn't glasses. Torah is when you take the glasses off and you see things for what they are. So they're the ones who are wearing glasses. Okay, Gnostic fruitcake glasses. But I'm just saying that it's interesting that I wouldn't picture Jordan Peterson getting involved in this discussion. That's a serious escalation, if you ask me.
Yeah, it is.
That's all. That's just leave it at that. That's all. I wasn't going to get into any deeper than that.
Frank, just
Yeah.
to not change the subject, but you know what I responded to a groiper? Or not, he's not a groiper, he's like a person. You know what he wrote? You know, this whole like, we liberated you thing from the camps and blah, 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 and we're firing drones to defend you in 2025 and all this kind of stuff, you know? This is what I wrote to him. 250,000 Jews fought in the Soviet army in World War II. Even more fought in the U.S. Army in World War II. What I don't get is, and I'm writing this really for other people, not for him, but maybe, who knows? What I don't get is how you can't see how much of an absolute bracha, blessing, you or anyone else gets for being on the side of Israel. Literally, God told Abraham that he will bless anyone who blesses his people. And here you are complaining, blah, blah, blah. We have to defend you and the world from death cult orcs, blah, blah, blah. Like that, you know, that they have to defend. Just accept the bracha. Be makabel the bracha. You're getting a bracha for supporting us. Like, let's just say this is true. Let's just say that we're just weaklings and America has to defend us, you know, and America has to be like our, you know, defender, and these guys are sitting just take the freaking bracha. You're getting when you do this, you're getting a flippant, your country's getting a bracha. You're going to be blessed with wealth, with money. I don't know, beyond your wildest dreams. And if you abandon us, yeah, you're fucked. How? It's so binary. Don't they get it? These guys claim to be, they read the Bible. This guy, he's like, I read the Bible. He's talking about he read the Bible. It's all about the Bible. Bible, Bible, Bible.
Can you share who you're talking about here?
Some guy on Twitter, Lagboat, whatever. Doesn't matter. He's from England. You could tell because he has a Millwall, you know, the soccer team.
Yeah.
Just take the freaking bracha.
Dude,
this is what I always wondered about these people. Like,
what do you want to say?
Nothing.
I'll be right back. How about that?
They don't care.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Folks, it's really astounding when you think about it. It's one thing if it's, you know, somebody's a mullik, they don't want the bracha anyway because they're trying to go against God directly. This guy, you know, he's upset that he has to defend. What does he say? When we gave you a homeland again, all you can tell is fantasy about how you're going to destroy us for not wanting to be blackmailed by Jewish pedophiles. It's gracious. At least he agrees that when I say, every time I say they're not Jewish, they have Jewish last names. It's astounding to me, folks. And I'll never understand it. It's one thing if a person says that they're an atheist and they don't care about Torah, and so they don't want to have anything to do with Israel or defend Israel or be on Israel's side, or it's just strange to me. People don't want brachas. I don't get people.
Had to pee.
Yeah. No, dude, it's just a bigger conversation for me. It's always been this question, like, even if you want to talk about, you know, like the guys who've been running, like the Fed, like, let's just say it's like, there's like a few guys in there who are Jewish, right? And they've been successfully doing their job, even if they're those guys who are nothing to do with Torah, and they're all these like stupid Tikkun Olam guys, you know, the guys in Clinton's administration.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Even those guys have what I call the Yosef effect. Even those guys are blessed with Yosef's ability to make sure that you know, we don't run out of grain. Whether those schmucks realize it or not, God gave that to them. Why would you wanna, like, I don't know. It's stupid. Like I'm telling you, like this Muslim sultan in Turkey said, "How are you gonna call yourself a wise king to Ferdinand? You just impoverished your country and you enriched mine." Like it's just simple economics of this. You don't have to be religious. It's just economics, man.
It's an emotional.
Yeah, it's a disease.
It's an emotional disease.
Like I don't like those guys as much as the next guy. The you know, I don't know, the Lloyd Blankfein guys. I don't like those guys. The guy who used to be the CEO of Goldman Sachs, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a hatred. You know,
Yeah.
when you're full of hate, you can't think rationally. You don't
Yeah.
care. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like, getting a heart transplant from your worst enemy, you decided that person's your worst enemy, and you won't even take a heart transplant, right?
Yeah.
I don't even care to understand people like that. I
Yeah.
don't care.
You know what this guy's upset about, this British guy? He's upset that there's a bunch of, like Jewish academics writing articles and books about how, like he's citing leftists, like these fruitcakes, how white people should be, whatever.
But he's a fascist who
Yeah.
who looks at Jews as communists,
I know.
right?
No, all he sees is Erevrov. That's all he sees in front of his face.
Dude, I don't even care to say Erevrov to these people anymore.
Yeah.
I remember early on in this process, I tried
Yeah.
to explain it, right? When I
Yeah.
had the Erevrov discussion with Ann Vandersteel,
I
right?
know. She doesn't care.
I don't know how she might not care, but nobody else cared. I don't know if she cares or not, whatever. I haven't
I know.
checked in a while on what you know what I mean? I prefer not to, because I don't need, I'm not looking for rage. I'm not a rage-aholic. I try to avoid things that aggravate me. Okay. So, but I'm just saying that forget about, dude, you're going to be heartbroken if you put in a lot of effort and try to see it's not us, it's not regular Jews, it's the Erevrov. They don't give a shit. It's all the same to them. They're not looking for a way not to hate. They're looking for more reason to hate. Do you understand?
I know.
The hate is present first, then the reasons. They'll find it.
I know.
Fuck them.
I know.
That's it.
Yeah.
Curse it is. Let them curse themselves.
Yeah, no, I know. It's just a shame, because here's the thing, man. Like, we know, let's just assume for a second, and I'm being maybe conservative here, that 75% of the people in America, maybe a little bit more, support Jews and/or Israel, right?
Yes.
So what these putzes are doing, these major league putzes, they're dragging down their own country. They're dragging down these people with them.
No, they're not.
What do you mean?
No, I think, look, for instance,
they are going to ruin America. Let's say they, God forbid, drive us all out of America. They're going to ruin America.
Bro, I saw, look, you like statistics? I saw stats. 94% of Trump's followers, supporters, completely loved what he did with Iran.
I know.
And support Israel. Okay? They do. So these guys are massive failures. These groypers.
I know they're failures.
Trump's approval rating is up with MAGA.
No, I know that.
Even after Epstein.
What I'm trying to say is that, the next whatever thing that's going to come at us is not going to come from any government. It's not even going to come from Mamdani. It's going to come from it, just like Soviet Union. All you need is this minority of terrorizers.
Yeah, that's going to be Muslims.
Yeah,
it's not going to be like it's not going to be Candace Owens' husband. Yeah, let's wrap it up. We'll do a to be continued.
Sir, I'm just getting.
It's okay, man. Listen, we've been at it for 3 hours. You know, it's
Yeah. All right.
all right. It's reasonable.
Yeah.
Okay, but basically, bottom line is, you know, if we're gonna have any trouble, it's the type of trouble that has been growing. It's not gonna be like, you know, a bunch of bingo grannies from Nebraska who are all of a sudden gonna raid Jewish communities. It's gonna be the usual suspects if it happens. Okay.
All right, sir. Good Shabbos, and here's to more dreams.
To be open to it and
All
to
right.
know that we're not so deplorable that it can't happen.
Not even close. All right.
All right, man. Have a good night.